So good afternoon, everyone. I am Dr. Benjamin Quinones Jr., founder of the Asian Society Economic Council, or ASEC. And on behalf of ASEC, I'm hosting our workshop today on the title, Social Investment for Community Empowerment. We're all aware of how hard the COVID-19 pandemic has adversely affected peoples all over the world, especially the poor, marginalized, and the vulnerable. Many lost their jobs, and those operating micro and small enterprises have suffered heavy losses. In the midst of sufferings and uncertainty, we in the social solidarity economy movement are often asked, is there hope for the social solidarity economy, or ACC, as an alternative economy?
Recording in progress.
To create jobs, attract investments, and bring about a brighter future. Many of you are well aware that ASEC is a network of ACC organizations and enterprises in Asia. ACC is the short abbreviation for Social Solidarity Economy. The main thrust of ASEC are threefold. First, education, research, and training. Under this main strategy, we have the ongoing ASEC SSC Online Academy, which is now having over 500 subscribers over almost 20 countries all over the world. And also the Gendering ECC course, co-organized with the UN We Empower Asia and the University of the Philippines, guidance of the Center for Gender, Women's and Gender Studies, and also the Youth Entrepreneurship course or program. The next main thrust or strategy of ASEC is building and strengthening local and national ACC networks. So the more than 20 countries reached out by ASEC ACC Online Academy, we now have focal points in 10 countries, namely Bangladesh, India, Indonesia, Japan, Malaysia, Nepal, Pakistan, Philippines, Sri Lanka, and Thailand. And the third main strategy is partnerships and advocacy at the continental and international levels. ASEC is involved in the Global Social Economy Forum, which we are conducting right now, as well as in several continental and international forums, such as ASEAN People's Forum, the Europe People's Forum, Asia Pacific Regional CSO Engagement Mechanism of the UN ESCAP, the UN Task Force on Social Solidarity Economy, and the ILO ACC Academy, and several others. Concerning the impact of COVID-19 on ACC organizations and enterprises, ASEC consulted some of our local focal points and partner organizations regarding this issue. And today they are here to share with us their experiences. Their experiences show that it is the relevance of their products, technologies, and services to the needs of their clients and the quality of their products, technologies, and services that enable them to attract investments, create jobs, benefit the poor, and stay the course in business. So the objective of our meeting today is to highlight the features of these ACC products, technologies, and services with the end in view of promoting partnerships so that these products, technologies, and services of social economy, enterprises, and organizations can benefit more disadvantaged people in Asia and beyond. Before we present to you the ACC products, technologies, and services, I'd like to invite our distinguished guests to greet you, and I'll introduce them one at a time. First, I'd like to call on Shigeru. He is our co-coordinator of RIPESS. RIPESS is the mother organization of ASEC, and I'd like to ask Chandra to upload, the bio profile of Mr. Shigeru so that we can introduce him formally. Shigeru is also part of ASEC, representing East Asia, that includes Japan, Korea, and China. But he is now representing not only Asia, but the entire 7 intercontinental networks of RIPESS. Is it on, Sandra?
Yes, it is. It is on the screen now.
It's on. We can see it.
Yes, people are seeing my embarrassing resume.
Okay, so let me introduce Shigeru. He is the co-coordinator of the Intercontinental Board of RIPESS. This is the mother organization of ASEC. He is also the executive director of the Pacific Asia Resource Center, or PARC, a not-for-profit think tank based in Tokyo. He's working with ECC practitioners in Europe, North America, Latin America, in addition to Asia, and more specifically Japan. He was instrumental in organizing the second Asian Sudaikaning Forum in Tokyo in 2009, and since then, he has been involved in the Japanese Solidarity Economy movement. Currently, he is involved in a project in Brazil, working with a consumer farmer cooperative in bettering livelihoods and protecting traditional sustainable farming practices while preventing large-scale mining activities in the region. So ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Shigeru, who is going to give us a speech, a talk. Shigeru, please.
Yes, thank you very much for that presentation, Dr. Ben. I will try to keep my opening remarks short. Dr. Ben has made an excellent presentation on who ASEC is, but I would just like to say that the intercontinental network that I currently represent, RIPESS, he had kindly mentioned as the mother organization of ASEC, but I actually think we are more the child. The mother of the movement, SSE, is always at the grassroots. It's in Asia, it's in Africa, it's in Latin America, it's in Europe. It's these small but beautiful practices that are taking place on the ground. And it is the regional network and the intercontinental network that is born out from these grassroots networks coming together to enlarge our voices so that we can be more active and more vocal in the intercontinental arena. So in that sense, we are more the child, and it is a great honor to be able to address some of our mothers and fathers to represent their case on SSE in Asia. And I really want to congratulate Dr. Ben for this opportunity to share the wisdom that comes from Asia and also the challenges that we face. And that's because as Dr. Ben mentioned, I was formally involved with the SSE movement since 2009, but my organization, Pacific Asia Resource Center, PARC, our founder, Yoko Kitazawa, has been working together with Dr. Ben to really begin the SSE movement in Asia. And to my knowledge, I think it was around 2001, 2002 that Yoko and Dr. Ben really began sowing the seeds of the SSE movement in Asia. And so it's been nearly 20 years that Dr. Ben has been working to create the SSE movement. And at the beginning, it may have been just a few, but he organized the Asian Solidarity Economy Forum in Manila in 2007. Then 2009, 2 years after that in Tokyo, that's when I first got in contact with the SSE movement. And then we had meetings in Malaysia and in Indonesia, and the movement grew. And before we know it, here we are now. The network has grown to over 20 countries in Asia, and we are here representing many, many cases where we can say SSE is not just an interesting example, but SSE is the solution to solve many of our challenges that we face in the world. So it is with great honor that these movements coming together has formed ASEC and has strengthened RIPESS. And we are here able to now present at the global scale our wisdom and experience from Asia. So congratulations, Dr. Ben, and congratulations, and thank you for your commitment to the distinguished speakers. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shigeru, and thank you for that historical account. I remember our Yuko Kitazawa. She was really very passionate lady, and she was very active, not only in the economic sphere, but also she was against nuclear weapons. She opposed any weapons that are destructive. She was very active in so many spheres and very well known in Japan. And so thank you for that little history, Shigeru, putting the context of the ASEC in proper perspective. That really this was a initiative of so many people, not only one person. The founders are including Bambang Ismawan of Indonesia. Of course, because of the many years that we have spent, we are now in our senior years, and I'm happy, that there are many young people who are. That's why I was happy to see Johan from Sri Lanka, a young person, So now I would like to, because we have time. Maybe we spend another 10 minutes introducing. So can you introduce yourself, your name, your organization briefly, so that everyone is properly introduced, to this body here. Let me call on Tish, and after Tish introducing herself, she can call on anybody. Yeah. So the next speaker will select, the next. To speak after him or her. Tish, can you introduce yourself?
Yes, good afternoon. I'm Tish Vito Cruz. I am representing Tagaluanin Women Weavers Association, a social enterprise based in Malaybalay, Bukidnon. But I'm also with the Diliman Gender Office of the University of the Philippines, a part-time counselor, and other many commitments on women. Thank you, Doc.
Can you call on
the next one?
Yes, please.
Wait. Yeah. Okay, may I call on Lori Penular? Lori, you are still on mute.
Unmute, yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Loretta Penular from Dagupan City, Pangasinan. I'm a Patamaba organization here in Dagupan. I'm a local area facilitator of Dagupan City, sir, and I'm a volunteer of Red Cross, BSPU of Pangasinan, and leader of Porpis, sir. Thank you.
Can you call the next speaker, Lori?
Sir?
Can you call? Just select anybody. You can see the screen.
Hindi ko po makita, sir.
Okay, let's call on Arvin.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Next my screen, Arvin Kumar.
Good afternoon, Dr. Ben, and ladies and gentlemen of the ASEC Workshop Forum. It's a great honor to be invited here and to give a presentation of our innovative solar-based cold storage called EcoFrost. I will give so my name is Arvind Kumar. I'm based in Manila, Philippines. I've been around in Southeast Asia for the last 27 years. And we are here to give an introduction about the EcoFrost. And I also have my colleague, Mr. Ravindra Dolare, President of EcoFrost from India. Thank you.
Okay, Ravindra, you were mentioned. Please introduce yourself.
For sure. So good afternoon, everyone, and thank you very much for inviting to a great session. So I represent organization known as Ecogen Solutions in India. We are a manufacturer of two products. One is solar water pumps and solar cold storages. Solar cold rooms are our patented technology, and it is world's first decentralized solar cold rooms. We have developed, innovated, and patented this technology. So today it will be a great honor to represent this technology in this forum and share more about the innovation technology that we have developed and the way we are impacting agriculture and smallholder farmers across the globe. Yeah, thank you.
Can you call on anybody, Ravindra?
Sure, I think on my screen I can see few people, but Johanan is someone I can see on the screen. So yeah, thank you. Go ahead.
Johan.
Yeah, good afternoon to all of you. And once again, thank you for the invitation to be here. I'm very pleased to be here and I'm really excited to hear what all of you have to present today. I represent Leeds together with Deirdre, of course, but I actually take care of the social enterprise and logistics arm of Leeds. So on the social enterprise, we have a couple of projects that we've just initiated about a year or two back. And one of those projects that I'll be presenting today will be the CSEB projects, which is soil block, which is very new here in Sri Lanka, but of course, it has been a technology that has been used globally. So I look forward to sharing with you my experience, hopefully very soon. Thank you.
Okay, can you call somebody else, Johan?
I can call on Emilia.
Emilia.
Thank you, Johan. Good afternoon, Johan. Good afternoon, Mr. Ben. I'm Emilia Setiawati. I am Executive Secretary of Bina Swadaya Foundation. Bina Swadaya Foundation is maybe the largest NGO and the oldest NGO in Indonesia. We already transformed to social enterprise since 1999, and we have 10 private companies to support our organization in social enterprise. It's very nice to meet you, to sharing our experience how to transform from the conventional to digitalized activities, and we pushing during the pandemic. Thank you.
Okay, we will have more time to introduce the rest later because we have the 3 hours. And now I would like to introduce formally our moderator. I'm just here not to sort of open the session. So Chandra, can you please upload, the bio profile of our moderator? Our moderator is Dr. Natalie Africa Verceles. She is the director of the University of the Philippines Center for Women's and Gender Studies, and concurrently assistant professor of the Department of Women and Development Studies, DWDS, in the UP College of Social Work and Community Development. She has previously served as chairperson of DWDS 2013 to 2016 and director of the Doctor of Social Development program of the CSW City 2017. She is also entrepreneur. She established a single proprietorship which owns and manages 6 food franchises located in various malls in Metro Manila, while serving as corporate secretary of Polygon Investors and Managers Incorporated, a family corporation with investments in telecommunications, real estate, and pharmaceuticals. She earned her doctorate in social development 2014, MA in Women Development Studies 2003, Bachelor of Arts in Philosophy 1987, from UP Diliman. She also has a Bachelor of Science Honors in Economics 1990 from the University of London. She has published and presented numerous papers on feminist economics. It's my honor, ladies and gentlemen, to turn over the moderation to our honorable, distinguished moderator, Dr. Verceles. Dr. Verceles, please.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Ben Quinones, for your overly generous introduction. That was too long, actually. I'm also currently an associate professor, not assistant professor, just a small correction. Dr. Ben Quinones, I met 10 years ago. He's really my inspiration in my SSE advocacy, and he's indefatigable. He's tireless. He is the driving force of SSE, not just in the Philippines, but in Asia. So again, good morning, good afternoon, or evening. It's a pleasure to be virtually here with all of you. For our plenary session, we will be listening to 7 very interesting presentations of diverse SSE Enterprise Products and Services. And we will start with Ms. Emilia Setyawati. Emilia is the Executive Secretary of Bina Swadaya, a leading social enterprise in Indonesia. Along with her career, she has been actively broadening the network to develop and strengthen social enterprises in Indonesia by taking the lead in Unlimited Indonesia. For more than 15 years, she has been working on community development, women's empowerment, and MSMEs. Ms. Setyawati's strong commitment to promoting gender equality is evident in many of her engagements. With alumni of the Global Women in Management, she founded the Movement for Indonesian Women to Lead, which helps women-owned micro and small enterprises. Additionally, she is also president of the Indonesia Organic Alliance, which aims to improve the organizational strength and production quality of small farmers groups. Emilia has also hands-on experience in managing a profitable and environmentally sustainable business. So friends, let's please welcome Ms. Emilia Setyawati.
Thank you, Ms. Natalie. Nice to meet you virtually. May I share my screen?
Yes, you should able to share your screen now.
Okay. Wait. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay. First, yeah, my name Emilia is I already introduced in the first time with Mr. Ben. I'm from Bina Swadaya. What is Bina Swadaya? Bina Swadaya Foundation is the largest NGO and the oldest NGO that founded at 1967, May 24. So now Bina Swadaya already 54 years old. It's not young. It's not young organization. Our mission is encouraging and enhancing the community empowerment through the facilitation of capacity building, networking, and financial access. Our value is serving others is a noble calling. What is the problem in Indonesia, also in the other country in Asia maybe, but also in the world? 30% farmers are women, and the level education is very low. In Indonesia, 41% is from elementary school, and also dominant for more than 45 years old. Agriculture is not profession for adult. It's not interest for the adult. Not only in Indonesia, also in Europe, we can see from the Belgium, Denmark until UK, most of them are more than 55 years old. This is the condition of the agriculture. We got the young farmer crisis. We need farmer regeneration. We should create more millennial, centennial farmer that highly strong in knowledge, ecosystem, and supporting. We should create agripreneur, youngpreneur, and also educated farmer. Our product is kelas Trubus in Indonesia. Also, you can call Trubus class. That is an online and offline or hybrid platform that provide training and assistance to community to carry out agribusiness activities. So Trubus class is solution that I told you before that agripreneur and young farmer is the very important problem in the world, because we should move from offline training, on-site practices, move to digital online training with the virtual training, virtual visit, virtual practices. Also, we can combine with hybrid with online training on-site for practices. Why Trubus Group? Trubus Group is the trusted brand in agribusiness, especially in Indonesia, also in ASEAN. We have agriculture shop, 26 outlets around Indonesia, and we have online agriculture course since 1965 with participants more than 100,000 person. We also trusted source of agriculture information We also publish more than 5,000 book title in agriculture and agribusiness. We can give our participants both theory and practices. What is the uniquely product of Trubus class? Trubus class is very unique because we collaboration online and offline training in agriculture. You can see, you can watch our video anytime, anywhere. Also, we have a social solidarity economic mainstreaming. We have the trusted brand and trusted media in agriculture. We need customer need that we give them a basic and premium class. Basic is free class. You can access our class. You can join the online course with free all of them, and also you can choose the premium. You can get assistant. You can get coaching. Also, you can connect to the market. We also have the complete support ecosystem complete ecosystem that we give you knowledge, media partner, financial, also input access. We have the shop agriculture, and we can connect you to the market access. Our milestone in class Trubus is to scaling up and grow. Our current position that we online training with the national trainer and also national participant, and we do not have a market info and buyer. In our new milestone, we have a product online training on dedicated platform using the mobile application, trainer and participant around the world. We also have the target consumer from student, young agripreneur, investor with the range age from Gen millennial until centennial in Asia level. We also collaboration with SSE stakeholder with the mainstreaming, with the university, the practitioner, off-taker, buyer, government, community, also media partner. This is our Trubus class that we need. We need your support. We need your collaboration to improve our product. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Ms. Emilia Setiawati, for sharing with us the work of Kelas Trubus. Now, we will interrupt our plenary session to give way to Dr. Ben Quiñones' introduction of our guest speaker, Mr. Arun Ruste. Please, Dr. Ben.
Thank you.
Dr. Ben, yes.
Yes, thank you, Natsi. Chandra, can you upload the bio profile of our guest speaker?
Ben, you can go without that.
Okay. Our guest speaker, Mr. Arun Ruste, is the Managing Director and CEO of the National Commodity and Derivatives Exchange Limited, INCIDEX, which is a leading agriculture commodity exchange in India, which offers services across the entire post-harvest agriculture commodities value chain. He's board director of Indian Immunological Limited and Mother Dairy Fruit and Vegetable Private Limited. He was former executive director of the National Dairy Development Board, and he worked with major financing institutions in India like IDFC First Bank, Kotak Mahindra Bank, and the financial inclusion behemoth National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, or NABARD, and ACC Cement. He was former executive director of the International Resources for Fair Trade, IRFT, and director of the think tank Coalition of Socially Responsible SMEs in Asia, which we organized jointly where I was working in Malaysia, CSR SME Asia, which pioneered the Asian Sudan Economy Forum, ASEC, mentioned by Shigeru a while ago. The forerunner, ASEC is the forerunner of our Asian Sudan Economic Council. So our guest speaker is not a foreigner to ASEC. He is one of those who helped us establish the forum. And now we are privileged He holds a master's degree in economics with postgraduate diplomas in marketing, communications, and journalism. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor to introduce to you and give you Mr. Arun Ruste. Arun, please.
Thank you, Ben. I hope I am audible. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. It's very nice to come and join this program today. And I'm taken back about 15 years, 16 years, in fact, 2003, 2004 was the time when I got introduced to Ben. Yoko Kedzawa-san of Park, Bambang Iswang, Dennis and Jayasuriya, all these people, possibly last 15 or 16 years ago, we started working. And then possibly about a decade or so, I was not part of this. And again, I'm very happy to join you people back. When Ben wrote to me about 2 weeks ago, I was pleasantly surprised. And I was very happy because in the intervening 10 odd years that I didn't work with him, I was working in sectors which are very closely associated with the solidarity economy. And I'm looking at it more in terms of the learning which I'm trying to transpose from mainstream economy in some sense into solidarity social economy, and how one can scale up, how one can make your businesses very, very big. So somebody like Bina Swadhyaya, who is the largest NGO in Indonesia, or any small grassroots NGO who wants to grow. I'll just give 2 examples when I'm speaking. So Ben just mentioned that I was working with National Dairy Development Board. And I'll give you an example of a dairy development entity. So this is a farmer-producer company. That's a legal entity, farmer-producer company. It is called Shrija. It is based out of Tirupati, which is known as a temple town in the country. But I'll give you 2 specialities of this company. Number 1, it is the largest women-owned company in the world. There are 85,000 shareholders who all produce milk, and they are all women. That is the first thing. Second, it's a profitable company. Now, Tirupati is in South India, and they send milk all the way to our national capital region in Delhi by railways, by train, every single day. Now, milk is a very perishable commodity. From cow to, counter, from where consumers like us buy it, there are a lot of steps. So these women, they operate in about 3,000 odd villages. They have, 1,000 odd villages. They have 3,000 milk pooling centers where women come, they collect milk in a particular center. Then there are bulk milk chillers. Then the milk gets transported in containers or trucks at -8 degrees. Then it goes to the railway station. From there, in the railways or in the train, it goes to Delhi. The excess milk, they process, they make curd, they make buttermilk, and some other products which are consumed locally. Now, this company was operating for last 10 years, exactly 10 years, the time that I have not been associated with SSC. But this company is operating for last 10 years. There are 3 specific things about this company. One, it's a cooperative model. 100% owned by the shareholders are all women. Second, governance is by democratic principles. So there are elections, and nobody can hold a position more than 2 times. It's like American president. You can be American president only for 2 times, same way. So you cannot stick to a position and you cannot control that organization. So very, very democratic in their functioning. Third, they maintain their autonomy. They are not, asking anybody for any money. Whatever profits they are generating, they are distributing, or they are putting them back in the business. Now, what are the major things which they have done in terms of their vision, in terms of their mission? They want to be one of the top 10 companies in the country, and that is in India. So that is a business mission. They want to be among the top 10 companies in the country. Look at the mission of some 85,000 women. Some of them are just about literate. Some of them, nobody has a business education. But that is their ambition, that they want to grow their business. They want to do it. The second thing which they said, they want to do it transparently. And they are so transparent in their business that if they sell a milk at about, say, $1, they will break up that $1 in how much is the customer's cost, how much is the profit, and how much is the input cost. And that they will present to every single woman shareholder of the company. Accountability is the third thing, a hallmark for them as an organization. The fourth, which all of you in SSC will need to remember, is the passion for excellence. You know, I have seen, I was associated with the Fair Trade Fraternity for almost 20 years now. So there are two things which goes missing in the Fair Trade, because we have our heart at right place, but when we are working as a business, we need to work like a business. So our business, whatever we produce, it has to be of a quality which is nothing less than excellent. And second, these women, as I said, their goal is to be among the top 10 companies in the country. So they are goal driven. So they are working towards a common goal. All of them put together working towards a common goal with excellence and accountability. So that is one example. And there is one example of all women who can come together and do things. You know, sometimes when we are sitting in a country like India, which is a patriarchal society, you know, men are very chauvinistic in countries like ours in South Asian region. But here is the women power. They come together, they form a company, and they make it so big that everybody has to take notice. Our planning commission, our government of India, everybody takes notice of what they are doing. What it also translates into, you know, every family, there are two earning members if the woman is working. And when the women start earning, when she starts working, she starts getting money into the family. How it transpires, how it transposes the family is in two ways. One, the children, they get better education, and the women's role in the family as well as in society goes up. You know, the esteem of the woman in the society goes up. So these are two major things, socio-economic, both changes can be achieved through a cooperative way. The second example is of farmers. Again, which has come up in 2010 onwards. There is an entity called Cyanography Farms, about 100 kilometers from where I'm sitting right now. Now, these are farmers, about 8,000 of them. They came together. They are in 100 odd villages. They grow various fruits. What they did was, they said, we want to control our destiny. We want to control how we deal with farming. We don't want to sell it. So these 8,000 farmers in those 100 villages, they pool in all their fruits in the seasons. They cater to the needs of the customers in 42 countries. Imagine farmers coming together, owning a company and exporting their fruits or the food products to 42 countries. And they have direct connect with 33,000 farmers. So that is the second thing which I want to bring to you. You know, all along we have been thinking that the social enterprises or small social enterprises or SSE, they cannot get into processing. They cannot get into large scale business to consumer. Now, these people have changed the complete paradigm. What they have done is they have dried their fruits. They are making pulps. They are making juices. They have got the packaging units. They have got the branding of their own products. All of that they have done, and so that they can compete with Nestle or whosoever, Coke or Pepsi or anybody in terms of their products. The second thing which they have done, they have established a website and they can connect directly to their farmers. So to the whole SSE fraternity, my request would be, you need to be connected on websites also. The pandemic has taught us this. Pandemic has given us a very good lesson. Pandemic was chaotic, COVID was chaotic, a lot of people died. But one very good thing which we learned from pandemic is, sitting in front of your computers, you can reach out to your customers. You can connect with them one-on-one. You can connect from one to many. You can pass on your information to so many people. Without spending too much on advertising, you can reach out to your customers. And we should take advantage of that. We should not cry that I don't have advertising budget, so I cannot compete with Coke and Pepsi. These farmers, the Cyanography Farm, this company I'm talking about, is a farmer-owned company. They have reached out to 42 countries. Imagine, sitting in one obscure corner, one small place in India, they are reaching out to 42 countries. Why can't you? So I just thought I'll share these two examples. There are 3 or 4 things which I thought I should be sharing. One, all of you, as I said again, I'm repeating that, your heart is at the right place. But when you're doing business, you need to do it with your brain. And when you're doing it with the brain, you will maintain your quality. You will maintain what the consumer or the customer demands. So quality. And the third thing is, what we bring in SSE as a whole is trust. You need to maintain the trust of the customer in whatever you are doing. The last bit, both these examples which I talked about, it's about cooperation. And that is something which I think will resonate well with us. People coming together, people working with each other, collectively doing things and collectively getting fruits of that development in the villages, in the hinterland, in the poorer families. That is the aim of SSE. I just wanted to share this example because you can grow your businesses, your enterprises, your entities to a much larger scale. And when you do, Narayan Murthy, who used to own one of our information technology companies, his principle is very simple. You need to create wealth to distribute it among people. So SSE needs to think in terms of creating more wealth in a better way and then distributing it among the constituents. So I leave with these thoughts, and I'm available for next 2 hours. I'll be continuing here. Thank you very much, Sir Ben, and all the participants.
Thank you, Arun. A big applause to Arun. I'm very happy that you can join us because this is actually a launching, of a new initiative on social investment, and to have the kind of mind that you have promoting the scaling up of micro, small SSE enterprises is what we really need nowadays, because we believe SSE is one of the solutions that could overcome the constraints of the COVID-19 pandemic. And so I'm so happy that you can be part of this circle again. So thank you again. And also we are quite happy to have your presence here and to listen to the presentations of our SSA products, services, and technologies from different countries. So back to you, Natalie. Again, thank you, Arun.
Yeah. Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Arun Ruste, for that very inspiring sharing. And thank you again, Kuya Ben. And now we will go on with our plenary session. And our next presenter is Mr. Rolando Victoria. Mr. Victoria is the founding executive director of Alalay sa Kaunlaran Inc. or ASCII, and president and CEO of the ASCII Group of Companies Incorporated, which is composed of 12 different strategic business units. A certified public accountant and former commercial banker, he is a pioneer in the microfinance industry in the Philippines. He currently sits in the board of several organizations such as the Microfinance Council of the Philippines, Microinsurance MBA Association of the Philippines, Alliance of Philippine Partners in Enterprise Development, Inter-Asia Development Bank, Pinoy Ako Microinsurance Services Incorporated, among others. Among his citations is the Global Filipino Executive of the Year 2017 Award of the Asia CEO Awards and Association Board Member of the Year 2018 of the Philippine Council of Associations and Association Executives. So friends, it's my pleasure to welcome with all of you Mr. Rolando Victoria. Let's please welcome him warmly.
Thank you very much. So may I request Chandra to share my screen? So thank you. So good afternoon or good evening. Also thank you to Shigeru for reminding us of the history of SSE or ASEC. We've been participating since 2001 in several activities. And thank you also for giving us the opportunity to share with you our specific product of ASCII as a social enterprise. ASCII group of companies includes microfinancing, microinsurance, cooperatives for clients and employees, foundation, migrant workers, information technology, education, and training institute. We formed these different institutions supporting one another in and taking into consideration our holistic approach in helping people in a very sustainable way. Alalay sa Kaunlaran Incorporated or ASCII is a non-stock, non-profit organization that promotes socioeconomic development through client-focused financial and non-financial services anchored on Christian principle. Microfinancing is the main program of ASCII in regions 1, 2, and 3, while providing financial education and entrepreneurship training program for overseas Filipino workers in Singapore. Over the years of microfinancing, we realized that we need to respond to other needs of our clients. We have to provide programs and services to our members to enhance their capacity to manage economic and social risks, like in time of death or sickness. We have to go beyond credit, that is providing social protection, particularly microinsurance. ASCI has different microinsurance products like basic life, credit, accident, funeral, property. But today, I would like to focus more on ASCI MBA. In 2006, ASCI, together with our clients and with the support provided by Risk Management Solutions Incorporated, or IMANSI, a network of MBA, wherein ASCI is one of the founding members, established the ASCI MBA. The network helped us to work with the Insurance Commission for the approval of our MBA. 95% of our members are women engaged in micro businesses. Since our clients are part owner, they participate in the election of the Board of Trustees. Out of 9 members, 4 are our clients, 2 independent board, and 2 from microfinance board and management. Clients are involved in the design, premium amount, and mode of payment, and even benefits. The good thing why ASCI MBA is fully supported by our clients, aside from their co-ownership, is the low premium, good benefits, simple documentation, and benefits can be received within 1, 3, or 5 days. This is being done with the support of our clients themselves, who volunteer themselves to be trained as they do the validation of the claims. There are also equity refund. At ASCI MBA, the coverage is not limited to the member, but it covers the husband and 3 children below 21. If they have loan with ASCI, this is also covered by Credit Life. In support of our clients, we also offer micro insurance loan. How do we do it? To ensure excellent performance and professionalism and compliance, ASCI joined the MBA Association of the Philippines. The current president is the general manager of ASCI MBA. ASCI is also affiliated with International Cooperative and Mutual Insurance Federation, or ICMIF in UK, and also Asia, Oceania, and Association of ICMIF in Japan. Next slide, please. For over 15 years, we have 194,260 members, insuring around 776,864 lives. From 2006 to August 2021, we have paid a total benefits of 4,172,600 to 3,456 individuals. This year alone, due to COVID, we have paid $394,000 to $300 to 374 families. And the equity refund for the year is around 3.38 million. And we have already also paid the Credit Life around 6.19 million. Aside from, we are also providing some sort of support in form of relief during calamities. And this is for the members and even non-members of ASCI MBA. Next, please. MBA is a good model as one of the social protection strategy of helping people. Empowering the poor women, they have demonstrated that they can save, they can lead, and it's sustainable. We need to increase our outreach, saturate every communities, create new products. But this requires funding support that will also be used to train our people, to train our members, to do research for new products, advocacy for regulators, and introduce new technology. ASCII is not alone. With our MBA network in the Philippines, they continue to provide continuing education and training on the issues of governance, succession planning, technology, and others. With these resources that we have, this can be replicated in other countries, and hoping that ASEC and MBA Philippine Network can work together. There's a need to reach out our migrant workers. They want to be covered by insurance, but they are not allowed. They have to be the Philippines and sign the documents. This can be a good investment opportunities that will create positive impact on a sustainable way using technology. This is all. Thank you and good day. Mabuhay.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Rolando Victoria, for sharing with us the work of ASCII Mutual Benefit Association. So from the first speaker, we heard about capacity building, and then now we have a presentation on social protection. Now I'd like to introduce our third speaker, and that is Ms. Diordre Moraes. Having a passion for vulnerable children, Diordre has been working in not-for-profit organizations for over 15 years. Currently, she is the manager for resource mobilization at Leeds, which is a local charity in Sri Lanka working towards the best interests of the child. So it's my pleasure to present to everyone Ms. Diordre Moraes.
Thank you. Are you seeing my screen?
Not yet. Yes, I can see now, Diordre.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for having Leeds with this evening, and greetings from Sri Lanka. And as we would traditionally say, Ayubowan. Want to share with you about our social enterprise, but which is called the Compressed Stabilized Engineered Bricks. But before getting into that, let me talk a little bit about Leeds. So Leeds is a national agency where we have been working since 1978. We are registered as a local charity, and we work with the vulnerable, the marginalized, and as we always say, we work to create a better and a brighter future for the children in Sri Lanka. Towards that end, prior to getting into social enterprise, we have been always receiving our funding and partners through charitable means. And in 2018, we are quite new into this social enterprise scenario. We thought, why not go with the whole aspect of social enterprise? And the first project that we did, or that we started, and that was for this compressed stabilized engineered bricks. So talking of the whole aspect before getting into again the social enterprise with the stabilized engineered bricks, this is something which we have always dreamt and thought of because housing is a basic need. We worked in partnership with Habitat for Humanity, who were constructing houses in the northern province of Sri Lanka. This was after the conflict ended, and there was a great need for housing. So towards that end, we partnered with Habitat for Humanity, and we set up this yard, the CSEB yard in the northern province of Sri Lanka. So firstly, whilst we were providing the bricks towards that project, we were also
after completing the obligation to Habitat, was looking at it from an aspect of social enterprise, where we would produce the eco-friendly bricks and the profits or the funds that we receive from that, we would use towards our work with the vulnerable children to protect and to create a better future for our children. So to talk about the brick in itself, why we say these bricks are eco-friendly are because we use only 5 to 7% of cement. And as you can see in that picture, this brick is made in such a manner, it has an interlocking technique. Therefore, it saves on the cost as well as time in construction. Plus, the biggest advantage of this brick is that it is not kiln dried, but instead it is sun dried. Sri Lanka is in the tropics, and therefore it can get very hot at times. So this type of, or the homes that are constructed with this type of brick also has that cooling effect. And another thing is we do not have to plaster the walls. So therefore it is reducing costs in that sense as well. These are the dimensions of the brick. And we know the brick in itself is a little bigger than the regular size, and there are two types of bricks that are available. We also have received approval from the National Building Research Organization, and they have accepted this brick. In order to create a difference, in order to make a difference, we are looking for partners. As I spoke before, it is cost effective, it's a responsible choice, it contributes to a greater cause, but we need to take this initiative to the next steps. We started this in 2019, but we need to take it forward. We need partners. We need people, firstly, to create awareness about the type of the brick. We need people who will do a market research or a survey and to see what are the products that are currently available. What are the type of building material or the bricks that are being used by the people? How could we promote this eco-friendly brick? We need to look at the whole aspect. Is the North the only place where we need to place this service? Should we be shifting our current machines, as I said, is in the Northern province, but we need to look at the possibility of maybe bringing it to another location where construction has really taken off. Of course, we all know this last 1 year or the last 2 years, we've not seen the construction industry booming, especially amongst for the building of homes. We've not seen it at all, or hardly seen, but we would like to, through this forum, invite people, invite those who may want to partner with us and to create a bigger difference. Because this is one of the houses that have been done. So we have about 20 people who are from that same village who are working at the yard. And we know most of them, other than doing this as employment, do not have any other forms or means of income. So we are creating a difference in their families. We are implementing this in one of the most poverty-ridden areas where housing is a huge need. So there is a social enterprise. So please join us. One of my colleagues, Johan, is also here with us, who would be able to give more technical information, technical knowledge. But through this forum, would like to invite people to join us and partner with us to make a difference. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Diordre Moraes. And I hope that our potential social investors will seriously consider helping with the production of these eco-friendly bricks. May I please ask everyone to make sure that your microphones are muted, because while Ms. Moraes was presenting, there was actually noise, no? So please, let's make sure that all our microphones are appropriately muted. So thank you again. Now I'd like to introduce our next presenter, and that is Mr. Shah Abdus Salam. Shah worked for BRAC, CARE Bangladesh, Terre d'Homme France, ILO, and UNDP Bangladesh for around 10 years. In 1996, he founded a nonprofit organization, Development Wheel, DO, the core vision of which is to have a society where all people enjoy equal rights and equitable access to employment and adequate resources necessary for livelihood and to live in dignity. In 2016, he established a certified fair trade social enterprise called Do Crafts, the principal aim of which is to work for marginalized poor communities in Bangladesh towards achieving Do's vision. Shah completed his graduation and post-graduation in sociology from the University of Dhaka. He is an active member of several national and international development organizations, such as the WFTO, WFTO Asia, UNEP, UNCCD Country Focal, UNCTAD, Inber Fellow, Belt and Road International Forum on Public Cooperation for Ecological Remediation, UNDF, Civicus, AWED, ICSFD, WFDA, IAVE, ECOTA, Fair Trade Forum, among many others. It's my pleasure to introduce again Mr. Shah Abdus Salam.
Can I share my screen, please?
Yes, you are able to share your screen now.
Okay. I'm sorry. What's happening here? I'm sorry. Thank you very much, and welcome to Do Crafts. And this is Shah from Bangladesh. I'm representing Do Crafts and Development Wheel DO. Change on again. Oh, sir, it's okay. Development Wheel founded in 1996, and DO is working on to poverty alleviation through facilitating small enterprises for underprivileged rural and urban. Promoting and producing Bangladesh crafts by rural artisans and producing, who are the key area of activities of the organization. Do Crafts is a social enterprise and sister concern of Development Wheel, a charity. The main focus of the social enterprise is to work for the promotion and promotion of the sustainable livelihoods for small-scale artisans and producers in Bangladesh through facilitating the development of small enterprises with an aim to generate sustainable self-employment opportunities for underprivileged rural and urban people. Next page is I'm sorry to share with you that internet connectivity is down in our country from last night, so that we are facing very, very trouble to online activities. Okay, sorry. DCRAF's footprints, the 16 producer groups we have in 10 districts in our country, all around 1,200 producer members we have, and most of them are female. And all the group members are skilled and trained by national and international expert of DCRAFs. DCRAF's support to the producers group on product development, design, quality control, etc., and also market access for them. Most of the production has been exported to the USA, Japan, Australia, Germany, and Sweden, but not all of their products. The certain percentage of product we are exporting to the international market. Please change on our steps. So our milestones are non-profit developed will established in 1996, and the strategic business unit DCRAFs we have established as a social enterprise in 2016. We are working together with some national and international networks, which are World Fair Trade Organizations, WTO, WFT Asia, Africa Fair Trade Forum, which is our national networking body of fair trading organizations in our country, and also Bangla Craft, Inbar, Nest Artisan Light, A2 Artisan. And the DCRAFs is directly contributing to the Sustainable Development Goals 2030, number 1, creating opportunity for disadvantaged producers. And number 2, transparency and accountability we are maintaining in our social enterprise and our producer group level. And fair trade practices, which we are actually practicing in the house, the organization, and in the producer level. And fair payment, which is very important for the marginalized producers. Our aim is to provide maximum benefit to our producer groups, like the story behind the product. Those who are making the product, producing the product, they must get maximum benefit for their creation or their product. And we are not using any child labor or forced labor in our enterprise. And no discrimination, gender equality, freedom of association we have within the organizations and within the producer group. And good working conditions we are maintaining in the production side areas. Most of the producers are female and they are working in their household work at their home, from their home. And also, we have some production centers which are well maintained and have all the environmental facilities and environmental, environment friendly and breastfeeding bathroom facilities and water, safe drinking water facilities and maintaining health and hygiene. And we are building capacity of our producers, each and every producers to build their capacity on product development, design, quality control, etc. And we are promoting fair trade to our community, locally, nationally, and internationally, and respect for the environment. We are making all the products by natural materials, 100% natural materials. So we are respecting to environment. And we are also providing saplings and other support to our producer group members because they are using naturally growing the trees and other things so that we need to replant them in the community. And we have some opportunities that are available raw materials we have such as clay, seagrass, kaisa grass, jute, palm leaf, hand embroidery, wood, bamboo, cane straw, beads, seagrass, seashell, coconut shell, brass, etc. And we have also e-commerce and internet. And e-commerce and internet are emerged as promising distribution channels to market and physical marketplace, turning into the digital virtual marketplace, as well as a demand of natural and biodegradable products have been sustainably increased, which is a very good sign for crop producing organizations. And we also have some challenges which we are facing since it's a long time, and now as well. Like the low productivity, because we don't have any machinery or technology. They are using only their tools, like the saw or a knife, no more than that. So nowadays, many countries are using intermittent technologies like machineries for increase their productivity. And unorganized production. There is no organized production channel in their groups. Lack of education, because most of them are rural people and they don't have educational background. And traditional production method they are using. We need to upgrade that one and turning into the introduce them technology and machineries for them. And lack of quality raw materials. So it's a big problem now. Bangladesh is a disaster-prone country, and the prolonged flood and other cyclone and other disasters that destroyed most of the times our raw materials. So we are suffering with supply chain of raw materials. And design input, we have another crisis on design support, because we don't have enough qualified designers to develop new product ideas and the market-driven product for them. And access to finance is another problem. We need to expand this business. If we want, then we need finance or investment for them. Lack of market linkage, which is a big problem, and domination of middlemen. So, the middleman is a big problem in this business, so that we need to introduce them to direct market access for them to get maximum benefit for them. And lack of aggregation is another one.
Mr. Shah, I am just going to do a time check. Perhaps you could wrap up in 2 minutes.
Yeah, just 2 minutes, please. The business model which DoCrafts is actually implementing, developing product design through sector experts, building capacity of artisans, and creating market linkage with national and international buyers, creating market linkage with e-commerce and e-commerce platforms, and also supporting rural artisans and produce product to sell to national and international marketplace, and sell products in the e-commerce platform of DoCrafts. And developing market linkage, understand demand and patterns and constructions of production, sell product to national and international clients, and generating revenue through commission on sale. So this is our business model. And see our digital footprint, docrafts.com. So accessible for anyone from anywhere. You can access to our website to see our products. And we are planning to actually develop mobile applications for our producer groups, which will help them to take a photograph by their cell phone and upload that product to our website to get direct market access from global communities, global the consumers, which is one, and creating for access of information from them. And these are the images, the training and working with the artisans, field visit, and meeting with the buyers, field visit again, and some of our products. Some of this is full of handmade product by our women producer groups. And producers are working in the field. So thank you very much for your patience.
Thank you very much, Mr. Shah Abdul Salam, for your presentation on DoCrafts. Those are really beautiful products. No? And we could actually go perhaps on the internet to view those products.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, if you will provide us the website, if you could put it on the chat box.
Yeah, sure,
okay.
sure.
Yes, please do that. Our next speaker is Mr. Ravindra Dolare. Mr. Dolare is an engineering graduate with a management degree from India's prestigious Indian Institute of Management. He has over a decade of career experience with multinational organizations. Ravindra is currently leading EcoZen India's international business development, strategic planning, product management, and business excellence initiatives. Again, I remind our speakers to stay, please, within the 7-minute time allotted to you. Thank you very much.
Sure. Thank you very much for the introduction, and I hope I am audible to the audience here. Before I will start the presentation, we would like to play a video. So, Arvind, would you like to go for a video first, and then we can immediately run through the presentation?
Yes, Ravin, I'll share the video.
Sure, sure. Thank you. So, this video is about the innovative product that we have developed here in India, which is solar cold storages.
Can you see the screen?
Yeah.
I'll put the video. Then it will be a good start before Ravin gives the presentation.
India is an agrarian country. Farmers here, depending upon the soil and climate, grow a variety of crops. Be it any crop or region, every farmer hopes to get good
Arvind, somehow I won't be here. The audio.
Yeah, prices are right. EcoFrost Technologies has developed a similar cold storage for farmers that run on solar energy. EcoFrost.
इसको इस्तेमाल करना बहुत ही आसान है। फसल कोई भी हो, बस बटन दबा दो, सारी सेटिंग अपने आप हो जाती है। बस बिजली की जरूरत नहीं है, सोलर चलता है, कोई खर्चा नहीं। बिना धूप के 36 घंटे का बैकअप है, इसलिए कोई फिक्र नहीं। खास बात यह है कि इसमें कोई बैटरी का झंझट नहीं। आज मेरे खेत में है, कल इसे मैं दीपक के खेत में ले जा सकता हूँ। यह पोर्टेबल है, बहुत ही आसान तरीका है इसको ले जाने का। इसमें तमाम सेंसर लगे हुए हैं। इसका तापमान हम दूर से भी अपने मोबाइल में, अपने उपकरणों में देख सकते हैं। पूरी खबर रहती है और इस पे कंपनी के लोग भी नजर रखते हैं। जरूरत पड़ने से पहले ही ये लोग दिशा निर्देश दे देते हैं।
EcoFrost Technologies was established in 2010 by 3 IIT Kharagpur alumni. Using latest technology, EcoFrost is taking the Indian food storage to the next level using clean and green energy. That's why EcoFrost has been awarded many national and international awards. Through intelligent control system, EcoFrost sets the system temperature and humidity according to the commodity stored inside it and maintains it over a period of time. It can also pre-cool the produce rapidly, thus increasing their shelf life, and farmers can export the harvest to different markets.
Nasahang maiiwasan na ang pagkasira ng mga produktong inani ng ating mga kababayang magsasaka. Ito ay sa tulong ng solar-powered cold storage na makakatulong din na makapag-imbak ng produkto para sa panahon ng tag-ulan. Ang sentro ng balita mula kay Queso Padilla Live.
Audrey, ipinakita nga ng Department of Agriculture ang kauna-unahang solar-powered cold storage dito yan sa Pilipinas. Ito ang modular solar cold storage ng bansang India na gagamitin na rin dito sa bansa. Iimbakan o imbaka ng mga agricultural product tulad ng gulay. Kayang tumanggap hanggang 5,000 kilo ng produkto. May tamang lamig para hindi masira ang mga ani. At dahil solar-powered, sikat lamang ng araw ay mapapagana na ang unit. Kaya tiyakan niya na makatitipid ang mga magsasaka ng gasto sa kuryente. Narito ang pahayag ni Agriculture Secretary William Dar.
The oversupply issue. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for the video. So I will just take everyone through the presentation, and which will help just to understand technology. I will stick to the timeline for sure. We have already passed some time in the video. So Ecozen actually works on a vision to enable farm to fork value chain for perishable commodities. So it is majorly the horticulture and agriculture commodities, and that is our vision. So we started this organization almost 10 years back. Because of two problem statements in the horticulture industry, we realized that the food loss globally is very high. Average number is almost 40%, which is very, very high. And when we realized that this is a common situation, not only in India, but it is across the world, you name any country, and the farmers generally throw their commodities when they don't get a right price, they don't know how to store these commodities and how to get better shelf life. So keeping these aspects in mind, we decided to solve this problem by identifying what are the different challenges the farmers have. So one of the challenge we realized that the farm gate infrastructure is not available. Decentralized cold storages are not available globally. And if they're available, then the maintenance operational costs are very, very high. So we decided to develop a technology and innovation in such a way that this will solve this problem. And at the same time, it will become very convenient for the community. So today we are connected with 70,000 farmers across the globe, and we have made impact on livelihood, not only by improving their economic conditions, but at the same time reducing the food loss at a great way. The Philippines, we launched our unit in the last June, and we are going to scale up that model. We are already doing our impact in Africa by putting this technology with a lot of farmers, and India anyway we are have a good presence. So what basically we do, so this is the amount of food which is wasted every year, almost 7.3 billion US dollar, which is very, very high. And if we, even if we as a company, we always think that if we contribute somewhere in this food reduction by using this technology, it will create a great impact. So this is our generation 2 product, where it is a patented technology. We have a patent on this technology in India. Why this is innovative technology, it runs completely on a solar. It is standalone solar technology, and we use a mechanism known as thermal backup technology. So many times people get confused that whenever it is a solar technology, it should have a chemical battery backup. We are the first company globally who do not use chemical batteries in this product, but we use a thermal backup. What is thermal backup? It is very simple language. We use water-based plates. So there are 62 plates inside the cold storages, and there is a water which is filled in these plates. I will just show you image here. So this is how the plate and the structure looks like, which is on the screen. And the water in these plates get converted into ice during the day, during sunny hours. And then these plates in the evening time, non-sunny hours, offers at least 24 to 30 hours of backup. So this is how we change the way the technology do, and we make this more affordable, convenient, and sustainable, not only for the farmers, but also for the environment. So like in the video, it was told that this technology has received many national and international awards, and that is true. The best part about this technology is it is completely portable. The meaning is you can install this anywhere at any point of time. You can shift it, you can relocate it. It is completely a modular technology. Now, the best part about this technology is it is not only a cold storage, but it comes with a lot of intelligence. Now, where does it fit in the supply chain? So we as a company do a lot of study on commodities, and we feel that it fits completely at the farm. So whenever a commodity is harvested, if it goes through a cold chain immediately, known as pre-cooling, the shelf life increases exponentially. So you can see on the slide, it is said EcoFrost pre-cooling, EcoFrost staging, nothing but it fits perfectly at these two touch points in the supply chain. And we have proven that by this arrangement, 15% to 20% food loss reduction can immediately happen. So farmer can get a lot of benefits there. This is our third generation unit, which is already launched in Philippines, and we are taking this across the globe. The way we change this concept now, that with the help of this technology, any type of cold storages can be converted into solar cold rooms, and this has become modular and very handy. the reason I wanted to talk about technology more, because we use very different mechanism which you will not find in any cold storages. Simple example, in this slide, we can find the vertical arrangement of the fans. You will not find this type of design anywhere. The reason we developed this to maintain uniformity of the air and better temperature stability, because at the end of the day, it is the temperature which maintains the commodity's shelf life. We use, as per Kigali Amendment, the refrigerant, which is again environment friendly and high efficient, accepted globally for the environmental benefits. Now, the best part is we have done a lot of study on commodities. So we are agri-tech organizations, and we have developed different algorithms with the help of mobile app. So all our cold storages are connected with the mobile app. The best part is the user need not to worry about what is the right temperature, right humidity. The user just need to select commodity on the app. The temperature, humidity sets automatically. So this is an automated operations which happens with the help of mobile app. So a lot of people are finding this very convenient. Now these cold storages are connected with the cloud, which is very interesting part. And I just thought in this forum to show you that aspect as well. I will just hide my video panel and just give me a moment. And let me show you this part. So you can see here, now I hope my screen is visible on the dashboard. So this is a unit I have selected from a country known as Kenya. This is in Africa. And it gives me all information just by sitting here in India. What is the temperature? What is the humidity? How much thermal charge is there in the cold storages? What is the volume of commodity which is stored? And I can also track what is the current temperature. Is the compressor running currently? I can also track all those parameters. So this is very handy information that comes to us from globally wherever we have installed our units. So we call this technology as EcoZen AI, which is nothing but it gives us a lot of parameters to analyze these cold rooms. Globally, in one of the published document, it was said that such 400 cold storages are available, which are solar-based cold storages, and 300 out of them are installed by EcoZen Solutions. So we have a very good presence in Asian countries. You can see on this slide, we have presence in India, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Vietnam, Philippines, Indonesia, and Africa also we are expanding at this point of time. We have received many international and national awards from ASDEN, Rabo Foundation, the Clean Tech. Recently, in the last month only, we were declared as one of the must-watch clean tech organizations across the globe. So we were among the top 50. And in the Asia, we were the first organization in the agriculture industry to receive that recognition. The reason we received these awards is all because of the technical, the social, and the environmental impact that the organization is trying to do with the help of this technology. And there are many independent studies which has happened. This is my last slide, and probably I will close after that. Yeah.
Yes.
So many independent studies has happened which shown the result on social, economical, and environmental front that it adds a lot socially by providing employment. Economically, it adds because it improves livelihood of the farmers by reducing losses. And there is a huge impact on environment because it lowers the pollution, saves a lot on electricity. And by saving food losses, it also helps in the reduction on GHG emission gases. So this is how we are making a global impact, and looking forward to engagement even on this forum. I hope, because of time limit, if you have any questions, any information you want, I will put up our website on the chat box. And if you have any questions, you can directly talk to me. Thank you so much for this opportunity and listening to me patiently. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ravindra Dolare, for introducing us to the incredible technology of the solar-powered cold storage of EcoZen India. We could actually feel your passion, and unfortunately, we could not give you more time. And we are now going to our penultimate presenter. So this is our second to the last presenter for the plenary session, and that is Ms. R. Kirthana. Kirthana is the Assistant Executive Director of the Association of Social Services and Community Development of Gombak District, Selangor, Malaysia. With her passion for the upliftment of underserved communities, she currently works with the PSPK team in fostering sustainable economic empowerment and inclusive growth through capacity building on social entrepreneurship of women and youth. This has resulted in social enterprises owned and managed by poor women and young people, such as tailoring, baking, F&B or cafe operation, rooftop plantation, turning plastic waste into sellable products, and digital marketing. Kirthana earned her Bachelor of Management in Policy and Social Environment from the University of Malaysia and is an associate member of the Malaysian Association of Social Workers. She has been involved in grassroots activities for more than 8 years, with a focus on the pillars of community development, empowerment, education, and economic rehabilitation, specifically among the women, youth, and children living in urban poverty. She has been able to create innovative solutions for the poor communities in collaboration with various organizations and agencies, locally and internationally, such as the Ministry of Women, Family and Community Development, All-Party Parliamentary Group Malaysia, the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, Work Together Foundation, and local NGOs and corporations. So now let us please hear from Ms. R. Kirthana. Please take the screen.
Okay, hello everyone. Just a minute, I'll just share my screen. Okay, just to make sure, are you able to see my screen? Okay.
Yes, we can see your screen. Please go.
All right. Okay. So first of all, thank you for the nice introduction and detailed introduction. And I also thank the organizing committee for giving us the opportunity to share about our work in this workshop. And first of all, I begin with our association. We have been established for 15 years now, and we are involved in various community development activities. And till date, there are about 14,300 people have benefited from our organization. And for today, I will be sharing about one of our very recent social enterprise initiative, which is the Bites and Beans Cafe. It involves the youths and women in the journey of social entrepreneurship. We have been imparting the knowledge of baking, barista, and entrepreneurship among the youngsters and underserved women living in the urban poor community for the past 3 years. As a start during that time, we begin by taking pre-orders from the neighborhood, and we continue to approach the corporates to sell our bakery products on event basis to understand the market and also to understand our capacity and capability. As a step forward, now we have launched the Bites and Beans Cafe, which we are confident enough to meet the demand on daily basis and create more employability opportunities for many women to utilize their learned skills. This was made possible with the support of the All-Party Parliamentary Group Malaysia on Sustainable Development Goals, leading by our parliament members, YB William Leong in the Selayang constituency. They have been providing the required training and skills for self-employability at the right time just before the launch of the cafe to ensure that the entire team are beginning their career with the adequate knowledge. This cafe brings on a mission aligned with the Sustainable Development Goals to have productive employment, sustainable economic empowerment, and inclusive growth. Our cafe's simple concept is to bridge the trained women bakers with the youth team to promote it at the cafe for sustainability. At the cafe, what we offer to customer is our signature Penang Bengali bread. It is a heritage bread loved by many Malaysians. And together with the bread, there are also other bakery products such as cakes and pastries that come along with the Western meals as well. We are producing many variety of freshly baked products on daily basis, which is not easily available in this area, and we have a demand for it. We also want everyone to taste our food that we offer. Therefore, the prices are very reasonable and affordable. So when you see our cafe, it is actually addressing the poverty through investing in community sustainability. By instilling the entrepreneurship mindset to the women and youngsters, it depends on their education background, their ability of performance, and providing flexibility of attending their domestic commitment to ensure there is a work balance. By doing this, we are encouraging more women to participate in the economic empowerment activities, which will increase their self-esteem and bring a change in the community. So far, we have created self-employment opportunities for 64 women last year, only in baking industry. And we have direct employment of 19 women and 10 youths in the cafe itself, whereby their daily sales achieved as in average is RM 400. The cafe is managed and operated by a team of youngsters from various backgrounds, assisted by a strong team of women. The cafe's team consists of a main coordinators from bakery products, from the F&B units. We have R&D units and the marketing and promotional team, the HR team, and also our accounts and finance units. All the team members plays a crucial role as we give importance to good governance and also sustainable development. The cafe's sustainability will contribute to our social responsibilities to serve the other community members by supporting the continuously needed services and empowerment activities to uplift the underserved women and youths. Last but not the least, we are always open for collaboration. Currently, we are strengthening our delivery unit to double the sales and also to create more employability opportunity for the women from the community. We are also learning our experience in the e-commerce platform. If there is anyone looking for projects which you are willing to invest or you wanted to share your thoughts, you are always welcome to reach us via our social media platform, or you can email to us. We are happy to work together with experts to have a better idea and generate greater productivity towards community sustainability. Thank you. That's all from me.
Okay, that was a very concise presentation. Thank you, Ms. R. Kirthana, for your sharing on the Bites and Beans Cafe. I don't know about everyone else, but I got hungry from looking at those photographs. Now, last but not least, we have Ms. Josephine Olive C. Padilla, who herself is a micro-entrepreneur. Olive is well known as an informal worker leader in the Philippines, being in the executive committee of HomeNet Philippines, president of Patama Bawais, or Workers in the Informal Sector Enterprise, and secretary of the HomeNet Producers Cooperative. Olive has served as social development chair of the Regional Development Council of Region 4A in the Philippines and a member of the National Anti-Poverty Commission Workers in the Informal Sector Council for many years. She's also very active in the women's movement, serving as president of the Rizal Provincial Local Council of Women, vice president for the National Capital Region of the National Council of Women in the Philippines, and a member of the Angono Municipal Gender and Development Focal Point System. She has been regularly attending ACSC APF conferences for many years, serving as resource speaker in many workshops on the informal economy, social protection, and universal health care. Olive has a degree in commerce and has taken graduate level courses in women and development studies at the University of the Philippines. Friends, let's please warmly welcome our last presenter, Ms. Josephine Olive C. Padilla. Olive, while she's fixing her
can I have my
share screen po? Yes, and you have to fix your camera, Olive. And while Olive is fixing her camera, may I please invite all our presenters to, in the chat box, please put your website so that people in the audience can access them.
Wait ha. Nakita na, Miss Natsi?
Oo, pero wala ka sa camera.
Okay, wait
We
lang.
can see your slides,
Kasi
but we cannot
parang
see
wala
on
akong
the...
camera eh. Kaya the other one.
Okay.
Okay lang ako
please.
kahit walang
Okay.
camera. Wait lang.
Okay po. You have 7 minutes po. Thank you.
Yes, of course. Sige lang. Di kasi ako di ako makita eh.
Okay lang po, Olive.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. It's a thank for inviting me, ASEC, Sir Ben. And my presentation is entitled Grassroots Movement Creating Alternative Models for Economic. And thus, we are right now for new project, we are into local community kitchen. Okay, we have to take a look of Patamaba Wise, or the Patamaba Workers in the Informal Sector Enterprise. We were organized in 2006 as the economic arm of Patamaba Rizal, and who was organized then as early as 1992 here in Rizal, and legally registered with the Department of Labor and Employment in 2009, and as accredited co-partner again by Dole on December 2009. In 2010, we were able to get an assistance of Dole, and in coordination with the local government of Banguno, our organization ventured into bakery, home care, rugs, doormats, food cart, fashion accessories, and boxes production. In 2012 and 2018, in coordination with the UP College of Social Work and Community Development Social Protection Program, a yearly competition on backyard or community gardening from among Patamaba members in the municipality of Banguno. The harvest was not just for family consumption, but it is also one of our source of income. Why Sarap Kusina, or the recent activity which we did because of the pandemic, is the Wise Community Kitchen, and of course the backyard, and continue to the backyard and community gardening. It is our community-based alternative model that created by the organization to address food resiliency and income sustainability due to pandemic. As of course, this is our backyard gardening. As we said that the COVID really impacted to the home-based workers, basically the workers in the informal economy, loss of income and employment, especially among women in the informal economy, increasing hunger and malnutrition, especially to children. And then, of course, the intensification of women unpaid care work, mental stress, exposure to violence. So with this, as I mentioned a while ago, we created a Wise Sarap Kusina. This is what we call the community kitchen. No, the place of location, Wise Sarap, located in our Patamaba Homeowners Association and Angono Lakeside Eco Park, where we basically, our members also live in the vicinity. And of course, as how much as investment, no? Actually, we were able to invest to collect an 18,880 for peso, because of 7 of our members invested 2,000 and 24 of the members invested for only 200. And then the product produced, of course, different viands. Of course, we have meat, vegetables, and among others. So these are actually, if you want to order, you can order from us. This is in the morning, the breakfast. This is our best seller, and even snack time. We have the champurrado, we have the porridge, we have the spaghetti, we have the macaroni soup. That's the everyday food reserve in the table. No, it's and of course the price range from 10 pesos to 35 pesos to 50 pesos, and if you want to order what we call an overload porridge, you'll be paying 85 pesos, no, with meat, with egg, with liver, and with feet, for example, no. And then of course for our regular viand, well, we have our delicacy here in Angono, which is the calderitang itik, no. We produce twice a week, no, with 14 kilos production per week, which a kilo will range from 450 to 470, but depending on where to deliver, so we have to pay for our delivery. So we have this grilled tuna panga, no, this Joe, and even the grilled tuna belly. So in fact, we are supplying to home meat producers co-op the the tuna belly and tuna panga, no? So we are also having this in our menu, and these are our best sellers. Aside from that, of course, we have this buffalo wings, the different tastes of chicken, and we also have pork, the pork and the chop suey, no, where mostly our vegetable is being taken from our community garden, no. And then, of course, we also serve healthy drinks. We have the carrots, we have these are all extracted, not the powder one, no? So we have milk tea, so we have, of course, different juices, no, we serve to the customer. And then the promotion, we have this online platform for Facebook, and we also have flyers with the community, and of course one-on-one to members, and of course a word of mouth. So who are the consumer? Of course, not Patamaba and family members, our networks, our neighbors, online customer, and the eco park visitor, which usually from Monday to Sunday, from morning to evening, they visited in our eco park here in Angono, Rizal. And then, of course, we also have this on environmental. We set up an environmental management and waste disposal. We utilize our input from our backyard community garden, as what I've said. In governance, we have regular meeting with our core team and regular feedbacking and reporting the operation to members. We organize cluster leaders in managing the operation, and of course we are transparent and we have shared accountability and responsibility by in the operation. And of course we also comply government regulatory requirements because we registered our local our group enterprise or social enterprise in our municipality. And then the return of investment.
Ka-Olive, Ka-Olive, you only have
one more.
Ka-Olive,
Yes.
2 minutes na lang po. 2
Yeah,
minutes.
proceeds from operation distributed depending upon on members' contribution. And we have partners, the local government of the municipality, the PESO, the tourism, the HomeNet Philippines, the HomeNet Multipurpose Cooperative, the ASEC, and the Patamaba National. We are proud to say that our various intervention approaches also align with various goals and the Sustainable Development Goals, and we adhere to the SEC principle, the dimension. So specifically on gender equality, we're very much keen on top of the violence, the gender equality from among our members. Not to account, we want to pursue or to campaign for goal 1 and goal 2 specifically, and goal 3, and all those goals, but specifically we are into gender equality. So thank you and good day. You can order.
Thank you very much. Yes, they would have to travel to the Philippines to try those very enticing dishes from Why Sarap Kusina. Thank you again, Ka-Olive Padilla, for your presentation on the community kitchen and the backyard community gardening of Patamaba Wise. Now, I have an instruction from Chandra for us to take a group photo. So may I please request everyone to kindly turn on your cameras, as if you are willing to turn on your cameras, of course. So, and then we will, now I will be the one to count, or will you be the one? Chandra, are you ready?
I think it's on you.
Chandra?
Let's see, yeah.
Okay. So please.
Okay, we're still waiting some more maybe. Okay, there is another. Okay, I'm taking the first take. Okay, and that's one. And then, wait, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm done. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Chandra. And now we will proceed to the next part of our session. But we will start by listening to 8 reactors who will each comment on one of the previous presentations. Again, I request our reactors to please stay within your allotted time. That's a maximum of 5 minutes. And we will start with Mr. Chandra Fermantoko from Indonesia, who is head of Secretariat of the Asian Solidarity Economy Council. And Chandra will comment on the presentation of Kelas Trubus. Please go ahead, Chandra.
Yeah,
You have 5
thank you,
minutes,
Dr.
Chandra.
Nancy. Okay, I will not use all the 5 minutes. I just giving my opinion to the Kelas Trubus presentation, and I think the initiative is very attractive. It is initiated not by new organization, but by a so long history organization. I don't want to say it old organization. It's a long history organization which promote agriculture since their beginning. So they are consistently doing their mission, promoting the agriculture. And the value proposition of the initiative is very sharp. It is delivering nations food sustainability through empowering their generation in agripreneur skills, agriculture and entrepreneur skills. So in SSE perspective, I think Kelas Trubus has fulfilled all the 5 dimensions of SSE. The economic sustainability is clear, and the ecological aspect is also clear, and people impact is clear, and of course the ethical value that they promote. They quote, I quote, serving others is a noble call. It's very interesting. But I have only one question, only one more thing that I need clarification from Ms. Emilia. Is how will your organization through Kelas Trubus will deliver social responsibility governance or public participatory using the Kelas Trubus? That's all for me. Dr. Nasi, back to you.
Yes, thank you very much, Chandra Fermantoko. May we ask Emilia to please briefly reply to the query of Chandra as to how you will ensure, yes, socially responsible governance. That's his concern. Yes, please go ahead.
Natalie. Thank you, Chandra. As I told you before, that we have a supporting system and ecosystem support in the new milestone of Kelas Trubus. We will collaboration with government, with university, with the media, with the community. We can in Indonesia, you will know about the Association of Farmer, also the Organic and Indonesia Alliance, or other partner in the agriculture partner, media partner, government, and then private sector, media and community. We will hand in hand, and we will help the young entrepreneur, young farmer to develop their product. Also in supply chain, we can cut the long supply chain because we have the ecosystem. So from farmer to maybe with the cooperative system, they can access market together with the buyer or the hub system. Government, agriculture, Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Trade will be give them input from maybe Ministry of Agriculture will give them input, and Ministry of Trade will be promote them, will be give them information about the supply and demand in the national level or international level. With another ministry like cooperative ministry, we can together with them also hand in hand about the information about how to capacity building of the self-help group, farmer group, to increase their capacity not only in productivity but also in knowledge management, because most of them, our farmer is in the low capacity. In the global system, we can network with other organizations in the world, like SSE, like ASEC, ISEA, or maybe IFOAM, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. Are you happy with that answer, Chandra? Yes?
Yeah.
So they will be networking, yes, with yes. Okay, with other SSE organizations and also with government, which is really what we want to achieve as SSE advocates. Okay, now I will introduce our secondary actor, who is Mr. Junjay Perez from the Philippines. Mr. Perez is the CEO of the Microfinance MBA Association of the Philippines, and he will be commenting on the ASCII presentation. Sir, please take the screen. You have
Thank you,
a maximum of 5 minutes.
Yes.
Yes.
In fact, I'm timing myself. Thank you. Okay,
good.
Good evening, everyone.
Thank you.
I'm Junjay. I represent the Microinsurance MBA Association of the Philippines. We are a resource center for mutual microinsurance and also an association of mutual microinsurance in the Philippines. There are 18 organizations in our network providing insurance to 60% of the 50 million microinsurance market, particularly in the Philippines now. I was tasked to act as a social investor particularly for the microinsurance product presented by Mr. Rolando Victoria, one of our founders. What I like about the microinsurance product is one, it's a family insurance. So you buy only one policy and then everyone in the family is covered in the event of death and total permanent disability. There's also a living benefit, which Sir Rolly mentioned as an equity value, which can be a retirement savings of the members when they exit from the insurance program. Sir Rolly mentioned also about the fast claim settlement, never been matched by any commercial insurance company, and then affordability, in terms of small amount of payments, accessibility. When you become a member of the microfinance program, you have a direct access to the microinsurance program, and of course the governance structure, which is member owned and member governed, as mentioned by Sir Rolly. And if I'm a social investor, why should I invest? For market expansion, for one, ASCII MBA has 15 years of experience already and has mastered in implementing the microinsurance products, basic life, credit life insurance. They have a strong team in terms of the governance and the management structure. And I think one of the very superior markets, one of the superior products that is available in the market today in the Philippines is being provided by ASCII MBA, and a proven business model also. This business model was replicated in the Philippines, about 18 of them, and then also in Southeast Asia, Cambodia, Vietnam, Indonesia, and even in Fiji Islands. And very stable, ASCII MBA. So what will be the advantages in terms of ASCII MBA expanding the microinsurance services? One, looking at the Philippines, ASCII can spread its risk from now focusing only in the northern and central part of the Philippines. ASCII can actually look at Visayas and Mindanao and even the Southeast Asian market. And ASCII can also help incubate other would-be mutual benefit association. The market in the Philippines is like 73 million as per study of the ICMIF. The reach now is at 50 million. There are 23 million individuals, so about 5 million households who have no access to microinsurance. In Asia, the study of the microinsurance network says about 8% only of the low-income population is being covered by microinsurance. So it's really a big market for ASCII MBA. The social impact, a study of the University of Cambridge said that after Typhoon Yolanda, they studied the microinsurance by the Card Mutual Benefit Association in Yolanda-affected communities. And they said that actually microinsurance programs can affect and help at least 10 sustainable development goals, especially in terms of no poverty, gender equality, partnerships, and 7 others. No. And in terms of impact to the members, the University of Cambridge said that actually, if you're a member of a regulated microinsurance program such as the ASCII MDA, you are in the ecosystem of different financial services such as savings, loans, microinsurance, and other non-financial services. The members who were affected by Typhoon Yolanda, Typhoon Haiyan, they in the impact study, it said that they bounced back faster than those who are not insured in the community in terms of rebuilding their houses, restarting their business in terms of financial recovery, and sending their children back to school. And of course, at the heart of this mutual benefit association is the solidarity. One of the key areas that was very liked by the members who were part of the study of the University of Cambridge. And so there's really a big potential for ASCII MDA partnering with other organized groups, not only MFIs, but organized groups such as those mentioned, like the farmers, informal sector groups, and rural artisans. So that's my final word. Thank you, and good evening, everyone. Thank you, Sir Rolly, for the invitation.
Thank you very much for the alarm. Mr. Perez, that was a very strong endorsement of ASCII MBA. Our next reactor is Mr. Johan Gunarwardene from Sri Lanka, who is Business Development Manager of Leeds. So he will be commenting on the engineered blocks. Please take the screen. Yes.
Thanks, Natalie. Yes. So my question is, the question that was posed to me was, if I was a social investor, why would I look at Leeds, especially at this product, which is a compressed stabilizer engineered block as a product that I would want to invest in? So I think the number one thing that kind of draws my attention is the overall impact of investing in a social enterprise of this nature, because where you can contribute to a greater cause. In the short term, you'll be a part of an initiative where it creates employment for rural and post-conflict communities, especially in Sri Lanka, because we're just after a 30-year war, and places like the north are still, there's a lot of improvement, especially where housing is concerned, and a lot of communities need a lot of support. So that's one area, and of course, in the longer term, towards that I'll be able to contribute to sustaining the Leeds work in protecting survivors of child abuse. If I go to the product itself, I think the sustainability and the eco-friendliness of the product itself, because right now here in Sri Lanka, we have a huge market for the cement block, then the earth block, which is actually oven dried or kiln dried, which creates a large footprint. But here you have a product that does not require that. It's sun dried, so it's a lot more eco-friendly. And also the thermal properties of the product, the aesthetics that ensure that you don't need to actually plaster the walls, cutting down on costs like plastering, painting, and all that, which is ideal for especially low-income housing. But of course, now with the aesthetics coming into play, a lot of architects also look at using products that have a kind of an earthy effect. So I believe it will be also an ideal product for markets not just based in the north, but of course even in the commercial hub, which is Colombo. And also, I think it's ideally suited for tropics, for hot, humid tropics like Sri Lanka, because of its thermal properties, where I'm also able to cut down on, electricity costs on, cooling and ventilation. I think the other point that I was really impressed is it's a relatively simple method of construction when we compare it with some of the other construction methods that are already used here. Because one thing is where with a little bit of training, even the beneficiaries can do it themselves. They can actually, if it's just a small house, they can also, look at doing it themselves, further cutting down the cost of construction, especially in low-income housing scenarios, especially in the north. It's also a reliable and time-tested product already used globally. I believe it's a technology that is widely used, especially in India, and of course a little bit in Australia and US and so on and so forth. And also, I think the blocks that undergo, I think Day2 mentioned the NBRO testing that is done every 100,000 blocks that are produced. So that is actually a guarantee for the product itself that that Leeds will not compromise on the quality of the product at any cost. So I believe there's a lot of scope for improvement with this product, because right now there's very low market awareness, brand awareness of this product in Sri Lanka itself, though it's quite popular globally. So I believe there's a lot of room to grow, a lot of area to penetrate into, especially in the commercial hub, Colombo, where a lot of the construction projects are currently happening. So it would be ideal product to take it out of not just the north, but of course into the other regions also in Sri Lanka. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Gunerwar Dene. Now we will listen to Professor Dr. Sidikur Rahman, who is a professor of anthropology from the Jahangir Nagar University in Bangladesh, and he will comment on the presentation on Do Crafts.
Hi, can you hear me well?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Good afternoon and good evening. It was wonderful, like listening to Mr. Shah, and I get to see and listen to all the presentation and slides. Speaking of, if I think of myself as a social investor, I would first, what I would love to do is like do a feasible study and see whether, if I'm an investor, that how this is going to give me the return. As a business person, well, you know, I would love to think about my investment are safe. So there are certain advantages I can see in the deal, if I plan to invest there. Advantage number one, like that DU has a sort of a decent geographical coverage out of, he's working in like 10 districts, which is quite good. And he already has a business networks, and he also has a producer groups. And the most important thing, he is affiliated with various international organizations like Fair Trade and ECOTA, which sort of like give me a comfort that if my product goes global, all the compliance issues are met. It also goes with the Bangladesh government, like, you know, the SDG goals, and Bangladesh government is very aggressive to fulfill that goals in recent times. As you know, that our Prime Minister just received the award from the UN Assembly last week, and which means that if I get involved in this business, I will have the government's backup, and government do have a very supportive policies for this kind of business, and there's a good policy environment. So these are the advantages I can see before I invest here. And the benefit, as I see, if it is economically viable, and also it is kind of an eco-friendly, all the materials used in DU is like not harmful for the environment. It also serves certain social cause, like they're from an unfortunate and kind of a marginalized social economic class. So by doing the business, when I make money, I also helping people to go upward social and economic ladder. So this is something that I would love to do. And most important thing is maintaining the cultural heritage. This is the business they have been doing it for generation. So by doing the business, I'm actually helping or fostering, keeping or maintaining the local or indigenous knowledge that is going to be waned or will be gone. So investing this kind of business help me to sustain that kind of traditional knowledge. In terms of social impact, as I just said, that it has impacted positively on the life and livelihoods of the many producer groups who are mostly women, and we need to promote that kind of business. And also, it is sustainable in many ways if we can give the proper platform, proper training, so it can be sustainable and with a good business plan. And of course, there are challenges as an investor. I would love to know what are the challenges and how best I can overcome those. And among many challenges, what I see is very important is the technology being used right now and the low productivity. I would love to use modern technology so that my productivity goes high. And also there is a question of, as I see from his presentation, that there is a lack of marketing or branding opportunities. This kind of business is being held in Bangladesh. As you know, BRAC is doing it. There are some outlets that I know. They have a really good outlets in main capital city in Dhaka and other big cities in Bangladesh. Some of them also have outlets abroad. So DU can think of in line that, and there's a lag that DU doesn't have that kind right now, doesn't have that kind of branding and promotional strategy. So if I invest, I would like to invest some money on that so that people know that what we do, what kind of products, and the quality of the products. So from local to region, from national, we can go global and can be a big name for the country. And we know there are brands in Latin America, even Japan has one, People's Tea or something, if I remember correctly. They're huge and big. And Dew has the potential to go big. And also, as I understand that the kind of an business literacy, they need to know all the producer group, the accounting literacy, they need to have that market linkage. So if I invest, I need to have a group of professionals who will look at my marketing side, who will look at my branding side, and all the expertise, technical know-how, how the design will be, and if there is any changes, what are the demands at local market or the national market. So I will have those kind of professional expertise in my business so that it can grow. So considering all this, despite all the challenges, I think Dew has a huge potential, and I would love to invest in the future. This is what I like to play the role, taking my professorial hat and thinking of myself as a businessman. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much. We are hearing very interesting insights and challenges from our reactors, and I hope that it will impel our social investors to help our social enterprises improve their production. So again, we thank Professor Raman. Now, our next reactor is Mr. Kumar Loganathan from India. He is Director of Sarvodaya Action Research Association for Sarva Seva Farms, and he will comment on the EcoFrost solar-powered cold storage. Please, go ahead, Professor. Mr. Kumar Loganathan.
Unmute. Please unmute, Kumar. Please unmute. You're not mute. Unmute. Please unmute.
You have to unmute yourself.
Okay.
Oh,
There you
sorry,
go.
Sorry.
Yes,
So good
please
afternoon
go ahead.
and
You
good
have 5
evening.
minutes.
Yes, good afternoon and good evening. First of all, let me congratulate all the 7 case presenters, which are all very interesting, innovative, and replicable model that can create impact among the local people. But I choose to react to EcoFrost because my priority is always food. If someone is interested to increase the food production, then I will invest as a social investor. But in this case, it is a very interesting one, using the clean, green energy. And then they have developed a very, good cold room, which can save millions of, the food wastage, which goes every year. They say, about 40%. Even in India, it's the same case. But as a, a representative of ASEFA, ASEFA is the second phase of the Buddha movement started by Acharya Vinay Bhave. It's a Gandhian organization. For the 52 years, last 52 years, we have been working with many programs with farmers, women, and children. In case of women, for their livelihood, particularly in the rural area, dairy is the best alternative next to agriculture. But nowadays, it is becoming a primary occupation because agriculture is failure for many reasons. So we have, developing this dairy program for the last 25 years. Our model is NDDP. I should thank Arun for his excellent, presentation. We follow NDDP. It's our, pioneering in developing cooperatives for dairy, development. So 35 years, we have started. And then, the problem here is we work in rural areas where the milk, it's a perishable product. Unless you maintain the cold chain, then it gets spoiled. In the remote area, you are procuring milk from the remote area, and then you are distributing to the people who are sitting in the cities, who have all facilities. But then bringing that is a challenge Because in rural area, many times you don't get electricity. You don't have any good road. But in such scenario, if you want to, build up even for agriculture, also particularly vegetables and then fruits, you need cold storage. So I thought, the presentation made by Ravindra is an excellent opportunity for the rural people to, enjoy it. Because, particularly in the farmers community, one bad habit they have. If one farmer cultivate one crop and if he is successful, then in the next season, everybody cultivate the same crop. So what happens? All the crops comes to the market and then the price goes down actually. And then say, last year this was the price, but this now the price has gone down. So I got a heavy loss. But, in such scenario, the delayed marketing is very important. For that, I think the technology of EcoFrost is very good. And even I requested Dr. Arvind Kumar to, locate any one of his product. If he has put up in Tamil Nadu, I wanted to go and see personally and see how it operates. If it is successful, I promise that, I will try to experiment in ASEFA's, group. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Kumar.
Thank
Ms.
you.
Natalie, can I have a request for 2 minutes? 1 minute, I will
Surely.
speak. 1 minute, Mr. Ravindra will speak in the context of Mr. Kumar's comments.
Yes, please go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Kumar. And in fact, I would like to inform this august audience that it's not only EcoFrost is a disruptive technology, which was invented in India and which is now spread across the world, Africa. And I have the opportunity of launching it in a grand scale in the Manila, with the support of the Agriculture Minister of the Philippines and the Indian Ambassador to the Philippines. And because of the disruptive technology, it's not only disruptive technology, there is another disruption that we are planning to do with the support and the guidance of our mentor, Dr. Benjamin Quinones here. EcoFrost, I would like to state here that is the first in the world in creating a Grab or Uber-like model, whereby a group of farmers, or a NGO can join together and they can, bring this cold storage, as a means to improve or increase the income and livelihood of farmer, as well as, fisher folk and other, allied industries. So in that respect, I would like to close with a note, and Ravin will add 1 more minute. I would like to also say that EcoFrost is in discussion with Dr. Benjamin to have a partnership with ASEC for not only Philippines, but also for, all countries that ASEC represents, in creating this innovative financial model, whereby we bring the social capital based model to democratize the availability of cold storage. Thank you. Ravin, please add.
Thank you, Arvind, and thank you, Mr. Kumar, for your inspirational and great inputs in the discussion. Coming to your point, so we have deployed units in Tamil Nadu with horticulture marketing department and with some FPOs. And these units are located at some of the mandis in Tamil Nadu, where the group of farmers are using it very effectively since last 4 to 5 years. So, I can share my details with you. In fact, I have already shared my email ID, but I would love if you can visit there. Probably I will also accompany you, and you can definitely look at the way we have developed technology, and we can definitely associate in that direction.
Thank you. I think, I wanted to add one more thing. In Tamil Nadu, in every, district, we have this farmers market, weekly market. It's called, Olavar Sunday. It means farmers market, where, in the morning, they bring fresh vegetables and the rate is very high. But when the time goes on, the price comes down because the fruits, or the vegetable it loses its freshness. If such product is kept there, they can keep it and then they can get better prices. Thank you. Just add to your presentation.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. So we are achieving our objectives in this meeting. So thank you again, Mr. Kumar Doganathan. Our penultimate reactor is Dr. Cordelia Mason from Malaysia. Dr. Mason is Executive Director of Yayasan UNIKL, and she will be commenting on the Bites and Beans Cafe. So may we please ask Dr. Mason? Yes.
Thank you very much, Dr. Natalie, Associate Professor Dr. Natalie. I'm pleased to comment on, Bites and Beans Cafe, which was presented by CARE. I thought her presentation was excellent, very, very precise, to the point. And this is my experience with PSPK, especially CARE. I work a lot with her. And I would definitely support their cafe venture, because I think this is an example. It's like the icing on the cake for them, whereby they leverage on all their strength. I think it's a brilliant way, to tap on all their resources. They have people, they have skills, and they have continuous support from various stakeholders, to make the cafe a reality. In fact, I think it was supposed to be launched 2 years ago, but because of the pandemic, it was delayed, a bit delayed. And there are many reasons, for my support for this cafe and PSPK's project. Firstly, if we look at their SDG, they provide decent work for youth and also women, and these are single mothers, and widows, etc. And with that, to me, as an educator, I think decent education is quality education is something it propagates through an applied hands-on type of education, because they have in-house bakery as well, and we provide many entrepreneurial programs for them, for the youth and for the women. Last year, because there was nothing much that could be done, shops were closed. So we actually went on a digitalized marketing program with them. And all the ladies were really excited, enthusiastic about it. And we were surprised that they could take up this digitalized marketing modules very easily. They come up with their own website, use all kinds of apps. And I'm sure those kind of skills that they have gathered as a general training would be put into good use for them to market this cafe of theirs. And I'll put my money on them, because firstly, having a cafe is a trending culture in Malaysia. On top of that, they have also have the vision, and mission to preserve that heritage of the Bengali bread, which is, there's more demand than supply for that. So I think that's a good move for them to put that as their signature dish. And most of all, the idea of having this trans-generational business solutions, I think it's really it touches my heart in a lot of ways, because no one is left behind, in that sense. From the ladies are there, the younger kids are there, and the youth are there. Some came back from the university under the support of PSPK and start becoming entrepreneurs immediately. But to me, the biggest strength of it is that while we think of the whole project as being a social enterprise supported by various stakeholders, it can stand alone as a successful conventional business, which I think if with good strategy, they could probably franchise them uniquely, because the place would be where there are a supportive urban poor area, and we have many pockets of those. So that can be the kind of franchise that we do, not only just the product, and then because of the increasing percentage of urban poor around the country, I think this franchise is not just, when we go out, it's not just for a conventional business franchise, but also, you can put a little bit of spice of social enterprise. And this would, I think, promote a huge supply chain, yeah, where social impact could be invested in. So having worked with them for a few years now, I'll bet their money on them. But my advice would be to see in the new normal, how can we optimize the use of ICT, which they're already using anyway. Yeah, but we've got to optimize that and also try out the product in other similar kind of situation. So I'd like to congratulate Kier and her team, and of course Reverend Henry, yeah, for all this good work that they have done around community, which if you all can come over, please do come over. It's one is located next to the biggest wet market, one of the biggest wet market in Malaysia. But more importantly, it's so multiracial in its composition of people there, with also refugees. So I think they're doing a good job. Yeah, my applause to PSPK, yeah, for this great solution that they've done bit by bit. Thank you, Dr. Natalie.
Thank you. Yes, thank you very much, Dr. Cordelia Mason. And yes, you would like to go to Malaysia.
Yes,
Okay.
you're most welcome.
Now, yes, we would love to after the pandemic. Now we have our last but not least reactor, Mr. Petronilo Casuga Jr. from the Philippines, who is Communications Arts Specialist of ASEC. So he will be commenting on the presentation of Patama Wise. It's also Paul who does our art for our ASEC e-posters. Yes,
Okay.
Paul, please take the screen.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ma'am Natsi and Ate Olive, and that mouth-watering presentation. The last two presentation actually reminds us that it's already dinner time in the Philippines. So if ever I will invest in a income-generating projects like community kitchen project, I will invest in an enterprise managed by a strong organization like the Patamaba Wise, whose organization and operations are consistent with the 5 dimension of SSE. As I understand, based on the presentation of Miss Olive Padilla and the way I know them, Patamaba Wise is a well-established, well-organized people's organization, organized and operated by mostly home-based and informal worker leaders from poor communities and Angono Rizal, and of course, headed by a strong leader, Ate Olive Padilla. Patamaba Wise is also engaged in promoting women's economic, social, and political, as well as preventing and addressing gender-based violence. Aside from addressing the primary economic needs of the community, Patamaba Wise engages in recycling, environmental safety, and conservation measures connected to disaster risk reduction and management and climate change adaptation. Through awareness raising and capability building activities, it is still edifying values such as solidarity, mutual aid, and supporting each other's product. Production and community-based activities of Patamaba Wise have given visibility and prominence to its women members who have stepped up to the challenge as empowered leaders whose lives increasingly show manifestation of gender equality. In the presentation, Patamaba Wise is venturing into a community kitchen they called Patamaba Wise Sarap Kusina. Actually, I love cooking. And for me, this is a welcome move seeing another enterprise with social mission addressing food security issues. Community kitchen provides an opportunity to serve healthy, affordable, and ready-to-eat meals available in communities, schools, and for busy working sector. On one hand, it can help encourage members to produce more and more backyard vegetables, livestock, and lake products like fresh fish from Laguna de Bay to supply the needs of their community kitchen at the same time to address the increasing retail cost of supplies as they expand the operation. Also, it may help develop members' skills in budgeting, meals planning, cooking, and social skills. Operating a community kitchen requires actually proper hygiene in every step of food preparation to food service and delivery, as well as proper physical distancing for the safety of both the kitchen workers and the recipient, not just because of COVID-19 health issues, but it is a minimum sanitary requirement. I myself once managed a community feeding program and doing the same occasionally in time of frequent lockdown due to COVID-19 surge here in the Philippines, particularly in Quezon City. It will then need a substantial amount of capital as they expand or when they plan to expand to have a good kitchen space to cook, store supplies, and better cooking equipment. Since it requires big amount of capital and money available in Patamaba-wise might not be enough, accepting investment from people who believes in socially responsible investment can be the best option than borrowing. And investment from other organizations who share the same social mission is also a good option, be it financial or knowledge investment. Knowledge investment is on the, for example, financial literacy, entrepreneurship. Okay, investors are not lenders, but partners and co-owners too who can help promote the program of Patamaba-wise. Thus, presenting a clear business plan for expansion and financial projection can help Patamaba-wise attract more investors when they need it. So for me, investing in Patamaba-wise community kitchen project is a wise investment. Not so much yet on the potential profit, but more on the social impact it may create to improve lives both to the organization and the recipient. Then profit comes next. That's all. Thank you very much for this opportunity to react.
Thank you very much for your
Thank you, Paul.
Yes, thank you, Paul, for your very encouraging comments for Patamaba-wise. I would also put money on anything that Patamaba does. Diba? Because I have known the organization for 20 years. Yes. So now I was told that we have only until 7:15 until we get cut off. And now I would like to turn over to Dr. Ben Quiñones for the closing. Kuya Ben?
Thank you, Nathalie, for a very good moderation. Actually, GSEF left, the moderation and the timing for us. We can continue for the generosity. And I would like to, before I make my last word, I'd like to invite again our guest, Mr. Arun, to share his, impressions about this forum, and then also Dato Denison. Before I call on my friend Arun, actually Arun, our plan with my friend Arvin, is to later on we will write ADB, Asian Development Bank, to consider, participating in our forum like this. That's why, your presence here is very strategic, because we need, personalities like you to give credence, to this kind of forum. And I'm very, very happy that Johan, the young people like Professor Raman, very articulate and very direct to the point. I would like you to participate because this is a launching of this social investment forum. And very spacious that my friend Arun for a long, long time, come back. And Shigeru, I don't know if Shigeru is still there. And Dato, because I've talked to my friend Arvin, very, very, amazing, because my friend in Malaysia is Indian Malaysian, Dato Denison. My friends long, long time ago are Indians, including the Nabard. Now my friends in the Philippines are also Indian. Arvin, Kumar is my roommate when we had this meeting in Indonesia, Kumar Loganathan. I'm really blessed, by God, for giving me this kind of friends, very, very knowledgeable and committed. So with this mindset or, looking forward, Arun, how are we going to develop this kind of forum? Because we can, ASEC has a lot of partners with this kind of projects. Yeah? And just, yesterday, ILO contacted me. They want me to participate actively in this is a financial inclusion workshop they're going to conduct in November. Yeah? And I would like, to get them involved in what we are doing. I have a lot of contact in ILO. Denison also has. Maybe we can pull, our contacts. Arvind has given me assurance, has told me, Ben, I'm with you. I will, I have friends in Asian Development Bank. Let us write them about EcoFrost, about these things that you are doing. We need to help the farmers. Arvind is very committed to farmers. So with this, Arun, I'd like to hear your ideas and your comments, very inspiring that you have. And I don't want to lose you. So please. Please, Arun.
Yeah. Thank you, Sir Ben. I've been calling you Sir Ben for 17 years now, so that Sir will automatically come. So there are 3 or 4 things. I was very happy to see a young Kirtana presenting her Malaysian experience here. And I just wrote to her that possibly we need to have a SSE seed fund. And when you spoke of ADB, there are 2 things which you require when you are putting funding proposals, whether to European Commission, which could be multi-countries, multilateral organization like European Commission. They give it for multi-country, but they require some seed fund from your side. So they might give 80% or 85% of the total project cost, but 5 to 10 or 15% might need to come from the participants themselves. Therefore, the first thing possibly we should be looking at is creating a seed fund when you're applying for the projects. So there is a skin in the game, right? That is the first thing. This is just top of the mind thought, and I'll send you a detailed, letter or communication in due course. The second, in terms of when I was looking at the restaurant being run or the cafe being run, I really liked the packaging, the way in which the presentation was done. And when I think you and me, we both agree that if you go to Japan, the best thing they do is their packaging. And most of our social enterprises, they fail on that count, packaging. So whether it's packaging our thought process or packaging our products, how do you present it, market it? That is a very, very important aspect in today's world. Today's younger generation wants something which is well packaged, looking good, and 10 people talking about it. Third, the social enterprise should use social media in a big way. Everybody is connected through their smartphones. Everybody is connected through the web. But we need people talking about us, whether it is in social media or media. Probably if every single participant in this workshop talks to about 10 people and requests those 10 people to talk to another 10 people, you'll have a huge network. And we will need to possibly cash on the network ability of social media to support ourselves. Number 4, if you were with Apraka and all these microfinance institutions, right from Professor Mohammad Yunus to Indian example, how they have grown. That is something which possibly, if we can bring that and plus the dairy example in India, combine that in social enterprises, SSE, that will be useful for us. And I think probably, again, I will write a more detailed account of that to you very soon. The 5th one, which comes from my fair trade days, fair trade, normally, the customers are in West, rather than European countries or US. And the suppliers or the producers are in global South, that is countries like us. And what they do really well is to understand the psychology of the customers in those distant countries and then supply goods to them. So basically the customer centricity is something which we will need to imbibe in our producers. Once we do that, the connect will be very, very good. So customer centricity, quality, from the producer's point of view, from the organization point of view, possibly a little bit of seed funding. We will work on that. I'll definitely be with you on this, writing proposals, getting the seed funding. And the other thing, the scaling up model, if you are looking at the mainstream or capitalist model, where a lot of these angel investors have come. People who look at some good idea and then they are willing to put money. And then those angel investors, they are looking for an exit in 3 to 7 or 5 years, and where they can go for a share issue, public issue of shares. Equivalent of that, we need to establish in our sphere. If we can do that, scaling up of businesses will be very easy. And why I'm looking at scaling up? For the simple reason, as I said even earlier, unless you have wealth, you will not be in a position to distribute. Here, the advantage to us is we are distributing within ourselves. So within the group, that is not a single person controlling it. It's not a business tycoon. We are creating many tycoons among the poorest of the people, or from the needy people. They become enterprising. They are self-sustaining, and they can see a better life for their children. These are my initial thoughts, Ben, but I'll be happy to work on this with you over a period of time and everybody here. Thank you.
Thank you, Arun. And now I would like to ask our colleague, Shigeru. He's still there. Shigeru, we have partners in Europe. Yeah? Is it possible through RIPESS, that we can collaborate and make this forum really, investment-oriented, social investment-oriented? What can you say about this, event tonight, and what are the prospects, for moving this forward with RIPESS?
Yes, well, thank you for this opportunity, and thank you for the interesting stories and analyses. I will say that I'm sure there will be many individuals and organizations who can potentially be interested in all these initiatives. But there is a limitation to what I can say, because we are not a top-down organization at RIPESS. We prioritize local decision-making and independence of the institutions and the regional networks. So although I am the global coordinator, I cannot say, oh, EU should work with whoever, right? So we have this democracy there, and we have this independence there. So I can always recommend, and I can always tell our colleagues in the EU and in North America and other places in the globe, say these are interesting things that are happening. Okay? So my job is to try to connect and introduce, but I cannot force these people to say, oh, you must invest. So that is a limitation that I have, but I'm sure the possibility is there. But if I may also add a perspective to perhaps act as maybe a counterweight to what has been analyzed here. And that is, so today was an exercise into seeing whether we want to invest, whether if we were investors, if we would like to invest in these initiatives. And that is a very good exercise to see where the value of these initiatives are. But I would like to add a counterweight to that and saying that you must also be having a mindset to choose who your investors will be going to be.
Right.
Because if we go to the person who is willing to invest most, if we work in that capitalist mindset, then we begin to lose things.
Mm-hmm.
If we hear the voices of the workers, if we hear the voices of our constituencies, that should be at the core of who we are as SSE actors. And we should be choosing wisely who our investors are going to be. Will this person destroy the relationship that I have with my community? Or will this person really understand what is vital for our community? And it is upon us to choose who we ask to invest. Because in the end, right now, it may be hard for the people who are trying to put a rocket engine on our initiatives and have a boost. It might be hard for us to get that investment, but in the long picture, we are the solution. And we should be the ones choosing who we like to put into our family as investors. They must also understand who we are, and we must also choose who we ask the investments to.
Very good point. Thank you very much, Shig. And I hope that, this collaboration between ASEC and RIPESS with you there will continue in the next months and years. Thank you very much. I would like to call on my friend, Dr. David Lim, He is also a person who is very dedicated in helping the poor. You know, he has a network of these development workers. So, Dr. David, would you like to share your thoughts? You know, your impressions about this kind of initiative and what kind of possible collaboration between organizations, you know, could ensue. Please feel free to speak out your mind.
Well, I'm so glad to hear all these beautiful initiatives, very grassroots driven and have really arisen and ready for, you know, spreading out, not just to Asia, but the world. And my own impression is that, and I think I'm going to grow out of the Shigeru's, let's say, last comment, that we need to be the ones choosing, okay, who should be our partners and our potential, let's say, investors. Because I think the social economy needs to be a third and develop its own ecosystem. In other words, I think we have enough groundwork already and many local initiatives now that can really say we are going to develop a system where if you're in a socialist country, okay, just like countries which are very communist at this time, can we really develop communes, okay, into social enterprises? And we have village or commune enterprises, then they can be our friends, okay? So that's part of the ecosystem. And if they're in capitalist systems, we develop co-ops, okay, where the poor can pool their meager savings and start becoming co-ops so that they can own and manage their own business, okay? And we think co-ops are businesses. Co-ops are for enterprise and not for borrowing or for, but it's really to produce as well as to market the products of the local people. And I think Japan can be our model, really, because in Japan, the co-op buys everything of the products of the local people, and then they sell it to the Japan and to the global market. And the co-op also takes the orders of what are needed in their local community, and then buys the cheapest or maybe the best products that can be sold to the local citizens. And so here we can say that even in the capitalistic sort of structure societies, we can really develop co-ops. And then for me, we are also having many friendly capitalists who are not just thinking CSR, but are really ready to pour their CSRs into empowering the poor, and let us give them that. And I think I call you Kuya Ben. You have already been thinking of the Bayanihan banking structure, no? In the let's say in the mid 90s, and we have been part of that journey. And unfortunately, it got what we call got lost because we partnered with government, and government politicians has corrupted anything that they touch. And so we have to be really truly be selective because when we partner with governments or we partner maybe with huge corporations, they can compromise, okay, our value of empowering the poor, empowering the villages, the rural as well as the, let's say, urban poor communities. And so I hope I can challenge us to think bigger and say, let's develop our own ecosystem, our own economic order, and show the world that is the future, post-pandemic, as well as the future that we should have for all the 17 sustainable goals of the UN and of the world has been committed to. Let us develop sustainable communities where even when a pandemic strikes, they do not need government subsidies, okay, or government help. They are ready with their own farms, with their own community gardening, and with their own community-based businesses to withstand whatever disasters can happen, and that can happen. So that's just my thoughts. Hearing these exciting stories, wow, we have such well-developed initiatives already. So let's develop our own economic ecosystem, entrepreneurial, and at the same time productive, and let's say ready to face the world with confidence.
Thank you, Dr. David. Rest assured, that I'll keep in touch with you because we need your powerhouse of a thinker. It's important, to hear people like you because you bring back, the agenda to the real core of what is supposed to be done by the grassroots. Thank you very much, and I look forward, to your support, for the initiative of promoting this kind of forum. Maybe next time you can bring your colleagues, your network from Cambodia, from Laos, maybe in Myanmar, to also share what they are doing there. Yeah. So thank you, Dr. David. Now I would like to call my good friend Arvind Kumar. What is your take, Arvind, of the discussions tonight, and how do we bring this forward?
Thank you, Ben. In fact, very interesting, productive discussions we have had. Not only representing EcoFrost in Philippines, I see a great potential in building a social capital-based business model, because if we have been seeing the disruptions caused by the technology, let's say take an example of Grab in Southeast Asia, as well as the agri-tech startups, which is in Indonesia, Philippines, India, and Southeast Asia overall. A lot of innovations happening, which brought young people, people into agriculture sector, which was unseen before when we were working in that sector. And today we can see the 20s, millennials all going to agriculture. And if we look back and see in our career, and we had not seen that 20 years ago or 30 years ago. And today the technology is encouraging, pulling the youngsters to the agriculture and food supply, food value chain sector. And India, as I've been observing, is quite leading in terms of number of startups. And you can see that even during the pandemic, India was able to attract billions of dollars investments, from various countries, Europe, US, and China. It's all going into ecosystems, and that has created a huge, vibrant ecosystem in the agriculture value chain, agriculture and allied value chain. And to the level what we are working here is we have formed certain synergies between India and Philippines, which is of course looking at overall ASEAN region. And most important is we need to have a good partnership with academic institutions. Then that will also give us a more trust factor. When we go and talk to ADB and other international institutions like IFC. There is money available. In fact, you and me are working trying to bring a 2 million euro fund for the parametric insurance products. So there is definitely funds are available, but we need to create an ecosystem where the international institutions will be able to trust us. And of course, whatever the fund comes at the end, it's a commercial viability. And that's very important. The bottom line of the projects, whether it's a micro enterprises to medium SMEs, what is important is the commercial viability. That's why it is important to create a disruptive, innovative models like what EcoFrost did in India and in Kenya, in Africa. That's why I was very much interested, I think it took me last 2 years to bring and introduce EcoFrost in the Philippines. If you see in one state in India, in Bihar, in the Western India, a group of villagers, the farmers, joined together, and they brought Greenpeace, and they created a a social capital model, whereby Greenpeace helped them to raise the money to buy 1 unit of EcoFrost, which is a very interesting use case. In my see, because a small farmer, owning 2 hectare or 1 hectare cannot afford, buying new technologies. There are so many technologies available, but what is important is where is the finance? That's where the creative models need to be created. That's why what Mr. David Lim said. The new thinking. We can't just say that only the big tech companies or big corporate giant companies should control agriculture. Then it will defeat the very purpose, because these are all run by greed. So the agriculture, should be run by MSMEs. That requires a social capital model. That's why a strong team with a good academic collaboration, and we go with a financially viable model. I'm sure ADB or International Finance Corporation, as well as European agencies that we are working. So there is a lot of possibility. They are all looking that agriculture sector is very important for the recovery from the this COVID pandemic, and which has created a lot of economic stress. And we can see that, having seen myself the Southeast Asian crisis in '97 in Jakarta, I can see that the health crisis will become an economic crisis next. Where banks are all distressed, and still banks are not lending to agriculture sector. And take the example of Philippines. I mean, no bank is willing to go, and they just pay a penalty to Agri-Agrala and they escape. And but that has to change. Unless the capital is provided, I don't see that much hope for agriculture sector growing sustainably. So that's why what is important is we have to come up with the disruptive models. It's not only disruptive technology. There are a lot of disruptive technologies, but what is needed is disruptive financial model. That's what my thinking, my thought process after attending this very important workshop. Thank you.
Thank you, Arvind. I will call 3 more persons and then open this to those who would like to share their thoughts. Please, use this reaction here to raise your hand. First, I would like to call on Dr. Nathalie Verceles, and then later on, Dr. Rosalinda Ofraneo, and a good friend, Alex Almendral of NATCO. NATCO is the largest cooperative federation in the Philippines. I see Alex still there. So these are the 3 persons I'd like to request, to share their thoughts on what you have, what impressions you have on our discussion tonight. First, Dr. Natsi, please.
I thought my portion was over. Dr. Quinones.
You only moderated, you did not share your thoughts as an entrepreneur.
But you called me back. Yes. So yes, I'd like to thank very much all our presenters and all our reactors for their very, very edifying work on SSE. And I'd also like to share that we just finished training on gender and SSE, which was co-organized by the UP Center for Women's and Gender Studies at the University of the Philippines, and then also ASEC and UN Women. And I was very happy to see that among the case studies that were presented, there were many that were primarily serving women from underserved communities. So that was very, very heartening for me. And I hope that my role really as an advocate of gender and SSE is to ensure that we do not leave our women behind, because even the SSE can marginalize women, just like the mainstream economy that we are critiquing and striving to improve on through our own practices. So I'd just like to emphasize that we must make sure that women are served by the economy, that they are not marginalized by the economy, and that we are aware of the burdens of their reproductive work or the work that they do in households, which can take away from the time that they can devote to SSE enterprises. So yes, just for us to be mindful that we have to be aware of the distinct needs, interests, and priorities of women as a result of culture, and that we cannot succeed as a unified social solidarity economy unless we consider the particular needs, not just of women, but also other marginalized individuals who are marginalized on the basis of other identities such as disability, ethnicity, religion, etc. So that's it, Kuya Ben. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Natsi. Dr. Rosalinda Ofreneo would like to share your thoughts, please. Dr. Rosalinda Ofreneo. Okay, she might be
I
out.
think Mr. Rolly want to say something.
Mr. who?
Rolly?
Rolly, Rolando?
Yeah.
Yeah, please, Rolando, and then I'll call on Alex.
Yeah, Ben, I was just wondering because I heard that in the other session this afternoon, they're talking about microinsurance also as part of the social protection. And I recall that through the Philippine network that we have, part of the advocacy really is to share the technology. But until now, I understand that there's no active participation from other countries. So I'm just wondering if our group, the ASEC and the Philippine group, can really work together on encouraging the regulators in other countries. We are willing to share the technology. That's one, on the establishment of microinsurance as part of social protection that really empowers people, because these are owned and run by the members themselves, the community. Second, we can see a lot of migrant workers all over. They really want to be part of the microinsurance, but they're not allowed. I just don't know if we can, this is part of our advocacy as a group, if we can really have a common stand that microinsurance can be accepted through online, since this is the new technology. I was just wondering as a group, as part of our advocacy. Thank you.
Thank you, Rolly, about that. I think, Arvind, we can probably talk with the insurance people that you know of how to overcome this. Yeah. So anyway, we'll discuss this, Arvind. I'd like to call on Alex. Alex, are you still there? Alex Almendral, are you still there? From NATCO. Okay, wala. Si Dr. Ofreneo. Wala na rin. Anybody who would like to share his or her thoughts about tonight, this our session, before we close? Is there anybody else?
Myself.
Yeah.
Eri.
Yeah. Oh, Eri. Yes, yes. Please, Eri.
Thank you for very interesting pitching, as well the reactors and the site for me. So the title of social investments, we are doing business with the social purposes. Surely we need as well the support for financial to expand or to replicate, to growing more our businesses. But sometimes we don't know who are actually the social investors. So based on my research with the ILO on mapping of the social mapping of the SSE organizations, then Finally, in Indonesia, for instance, I have discovered that actually the Syariah Bank can be categorized as the SSE organizations because it's fulfilled the criteria on democratic governance, and then as well the social purposes and the profit dimension. So I think this is the knowledge on to know who are the social investors in the country, in the Asia, is very important information for all of us, the social enterprises, to get to know how can we collaborate with them. So I think the meeting today give us all insight, as told by the ecosystem. We have to know who are the element in the ecosystem around us. So this is just my coin of thought from me, Ben. Congratulations for the today discussions. Thank you.
Thank you, Eri. Any other last words? Kumar Luganatan, you still have the energy to comment?
No, I think it is a very interesting. All the sections were very nice. But one thing which I wanted to comment is, generally, there is a saying that when we take care of our mother, three mothers are there, very important. One is mother, means women. Second one is Bhumada, that's land. Land we consider as Bhumada. And then third one is Komada. Ko means cow. So if all the three mothers are taken care of, our survival will be sustainable. Okay. So that's, very, very, it's a saying, all the three if you take care of. So I think in the social enterprise, or the people who wanted to become a social entrepreneurs, let them keep it in mind, all these three mothers, and then if they can move towards that, then I think it is a very, it will be very nice to see bright future. But then in the land, in the recent years, we see a lot of wastelands or unused lands for many reasons. One is absentee landlord. They just invest for investment. They buy the land and they keep it as it is, or lack of labor, or many other issues. They keep the land without using it. But it is a very powerful sin that we make it. So I think in the recent year, there is an attempt in the ASEFA group to identify all the unused land and then bring it under one forum, and then bring all the stakeholders, like somebody said, the institutions or the education institutions, like what we are trying to do is we try to bring in agriculture university. Coimbatore is one of the best in the in India, and then also the financial institutions who can invest for development of wasteland. If it is a profitable one, then they can invest. And then the other social entrepreneurs who are willing to bring all the farmers who have wasteland under one forum and then work along the value chain. And also you bring someone who can buy the trees after sometimes using the agroforestry or industrial forestry. Then you can bring those lands under use, and then everybody, if they collectively work, then it is beneficial for all of them. So with this, I conclude my speech. Thank you, Dr. Ben.
Thank you.
Ben,
thank you, Kumar. Thank you, everyone.
Ben, I would like to add one point here.
Please.
Ecofrost, Mr. Ravindra has expressed his interest to explore on possibility of partnering with ASCII on particularly on solar pumps, which is also much required in many of the places in Indonesia, in Philippines. So we can also explore. what kind of model that we can work together.
Okay.
There is another model that I would also propose to explore for ASCII is in India, many insure tech, which is online rural insurance, which were able to attract good investments, So that model also can be explored, insure tech, particularly, to reach the take the micro insurance to the farmers and, the rural segment.
Good. So we have a number of ideas. I will discuss this and we will follow this up. So thank you very much to everyone. I hope this forum will not end, with all these ideas floating, but rest assured that we will follow up on this and try, to come up with concrete steps in the next few months and bring in, more stakeholders, potential partners, and as mentioned by many, the social investors. So thank you very much.